What is going on? Welcome to another episode of Music Row Hideout, the show where we hang out with artists, musicians, and entertainers in Waylon Jennings' old basement studio. As always, I'm gathered here today with co-host Ryan Poole. I'll pass to introduce the guests.
Well, tonight we have a very special guest, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. We have SJ. And am I allowed to say what your name is, or is it like SJ?
Do you know
the
what
real
my
name?
is?
Yeah, Google.
Of course we do.
Okay.
Yeah, are we allowed to say
Google.
that?
You are very allowed to.
Yeah, Sarah Jane.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is me.
Sarah Jane
That would
McDonald.
have been funny if you were wrong.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
do you go by, like, for people looking for you, we do that at the end usually, but is it SJ McDonald?
SJ McDonald.
Okay.
You know, I used to go by Sarah Jane when I first came to town 5 years ago, but everyone I'd walk up and say, "Hi, I'm Sarah Jane McDonald. Nice to meet you." And they say, "Nice to meet you, Sarah." And I just like burst. I'm like, dude,
What do you prefer they do?
if I was going by Sarah Jane, I would prefer Sarah Jane.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Because like the
I
double
thought you were
name.
upset that they were happy about it.
Oh, no,
Like,
no,
you just
no.
want someone to be like, ugh, Sarah Jane.
That's such a crappy name.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted them to actually get the full name. And I
Yeah.
realized that, like, not everyone is used to double names. Because when you're born with it, you do it. So then I also changed to SJ because Sarah Jane was a little sweet. And I have a little bit of, like, sassy to me. And I was in, like, a rock country vibe. And Sarah Jane didn't feel like the kind of song
Didn't
that
quite
was like,
feel
I'm
right.
going to kick your ass. So I went to SJ.
Okay.
Hey,
do you go by that?
Wesley, real quick, would you mind grabbing my phone from the other room? I need to text the guys upstairs to shut the hell up.
Can we hear them right now?
Yeah,
Damn.
I can hear them banging away. They know we have a podcast on Mondays, this is a fun opportunity to mention that we, as you said, we do this from Waylon Jennings' old basement studio.
Right.
But upstairs is no longer Waylon Jennings' house.
Who is it?
It's now a bunch of students from Vanderbilt that are in a frat.
Oh, wow.
And I will say, this year's so every year, this is a senior house. And it's a rotating group of seniors. So I have all, like, people who are on their way out of college trying to have their best year ever before adult life. I'm like in a Groundhog's Day of that, of their parties every year.
That sounds awesome.
So one year after the show, we did go up and just join one of their parties. And we just walked in, It's like, they're upstairs. So we just went
Yeah.
out through the back. And that was a very awkward experience.
Really?
Because as soon as I walked there, I was like, oh, I'm clearly significantly older than
Oh my
these
gosh.
people.
I sort of wish they had a party tonight because COVID took my senior year of college.
Oh, no.
So I didn't get to, and I didn't get to go to a frat party. But honestly, I went to Belmont University and, Vanderbilt's right by it. And I went to one party at Vanderbilt my freshman year. And we stole the directory of all the guys, like the pictures,
Okay.
and cut out all the pictures of these frat guys and pasted them all over my dorm room. And it was hilarious.
Like a
but-
psychopath, yeah.
like a psychopath. And I never went back to a frat party because it was just a little too much for me. I'm more of a honky tonker
Sure.
kind of girl, or like my friend's backyard kind of person.
Right, because you grew up
On a farm. Yeah.
right? So not like in
goes
the
with the
city.
farm.
Like I grew up in the city, so like growing up on a farm to me sounds crazy. I'm like, people do that? Like, I don't know.
Oh, don't worry. I am crazy.
Oh, well, sure. But I don't know if it's for that reason or not. Who knows?
Definitely not that.
But okay,
I left the coffee shop the other day, and one of the guys who works there, I go there every day. One of the guys who works there was like, "Hey, did you grow up in a barn?" And I was like, "Huh?" And he was like, "Oh, because you left the door open." Right.
Oh, that's
and
funny.
so, like, do you just say yes?
you're like, absolutely.
Basically halfway.
And let me ask you, why is everyone leaving barn doors open?
Well, I mean, that's natural AC.
Natural AC.
Natural AC for the cows. You ever heard, when you guys were younger, did your parents ever say something like, "Shut the front door, I'm not trying to pay for AC for the whole world"?
Yeah, something along
Stuff
those
like
lines,
that.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Kind of the same deal.
But for you in a barn, the whole world's paying for your AC.
Exactly.
That's
it's
right.
free. My
Yeah,
favorite
when we
price is
open our
$3.99.
door,
When you
That AC comes out and goes into your barn.
Yes.
That's how that works. That's
you from California, when y'all were growing up, you were benefiting me
wow.
by leaving your door open.
And we were fighting global warming. That's what California will do
global
next.
warming.
You got to start leaving your doors open. We're going to fight
global warming.
warming.
Bring that temperature down.
Pull it. Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Man. But you're on a farm in Virginia,
Virginia, yeah.
right? Was it? Which I don't know much about Virginia. I've only been there once.
It is so worth a go.
So when I went, it was in what's that? It's a little town, like an
Colonial
old
Williamsburg.
town. Colonial
Oh,
Williamsburg.
Williamsburg is cute.
Is it? I like it. It was nice.
I went once or twice.
If I go back though, where do I go? Is that the spot, or like where's the best spot? Where do I go?
I am very partial to where I grew up. I grew up in the southern part of the Shenandoah Valley, in the Blue Ridge Mountains, part of the Appalachian Mountains, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I grew up at the foot of a mountain, nothing between my parents' house and the mountain, but barns and turkey houses.
That's pretty rad.
I did not realize how lucky I was until I left. But Virginia is beautiful. I mean, beautiful. Williamsburg, you got the water, but then just the mountains. It's beautiful. Have you ever seen blue mountains?
No.
See,
I definitely have never seen blue mountains.
Yeah, you got to go.
How blue are we talking?
A deep blue.
For real?
Deep.
Because like
I'm for real.
All right, I'll check it out.
There's also this old song that my grandma loves that's called like Blue Ridge Mountains turning green. Like when the Blue Ridge Mountains go from spring into summertime. I don't know who sings it, but it's just really pretty. And there's this thing called the Blue Ridge Parkway, this two-lane parkway that you can just, we got a picture. See, blue.
It's very blue. Now, the mountains aren't blue.
In the distance, they look to be blue.
I composed a poem about this. You guys want to hear it?
Okay.
Just now?
Almost Heaven. West Virginia.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, let's talk
Blue
about
Ridge Mountains.
that.
Yeah, okay.
Shenandoah River.
I feel like you just struck a chord.
Did. So if anyone from West Virginia is listening, I'm sorry, I do not mean to offend you, but my grandmother has always been adamant to me about the song Country Roads is about actually Virginia.
Normal Virginia?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it says West Virginia
But
in the song.
the Shenandoah River is in Western Virginia. Like
Does it go at
Virginia.
all? Does it
The
go at all
western
into
side
West
of
Virginia
Norfolk.
though?
I actually don't think it does.
Because if it doesn't, then that's some credence
Wesley,
there.
does the
Yeah.
Shenandoah River
Yeah,
go into
fact
West
checked it.
Virginia?
Wesley, fact check. We're putting this boy to work.
I know. It's like, you guys have been on the air for 8 minutes. I've already looked up 4 things. Get off my back.
I love to instigate chaos, and so whenever I'm playing a show and someone asks for Country Roads, I'm like, excuse me, I'm from Virginia. This song is about Virginia. And then people from West Virginia will be pissed.
I'm going to start telling people it's about California. I'm just going to start being like, no, you understand. There's Virginia town on the western side of California. Obviously. You guys have no idea what we're talking about.
Virginia, California.
Yeah, Virginia, California. Famous.
I grew up going to a ghost town in Montana called Virginia City.
Could be
Oh,
about
So
that.
maybe it's about that, yeah.
I should go there.
Well, I'm saying your Virginia ain't so special anymore. It's lots of
Oh,
them.
thank you, jury.
No, I'm just kidding. But
Still
Virginia
special
was,
in my heart.
I remember it was very pretty.
Oh,
Everything
it's
was so
beautiful.
green. But that was before I moved here, so I'd never seen that much green in my life.
I didn't realize that until I actually went to the West Coast that
We ain't got
it's
no
not
trees.
green.
There were 3 trees.
No, it's really sad. But I mean, you are what you grew up around.
Right.
Do you miss the non-green?
Oh, all the time.
Because
My wife does not. My wife is like, I never want to live anywhere without trees again.
Gotcha.
You know, but I
Nashville-
miss the desert.
Nashville has trees, but I miss mountains. Now, people from the Rocky Mountains area will look at the mountains in Virginia and be like, those are hills. And I'm like, I didn't know it. And I would never saw the Rocky Mountains until I was like, I don't know, 22. So to me, those are mountains.
See, I like the idea of mountains more than I actually like mountains.
Why?
Oh, they look great, right? They're fun. But if you actually want to go on the mountain,
Okay.
it's kind of a pain in the
That is hard.
ass.
But
You know
mountains
what I mean?
protect you
From demons?
from the demons of a flatland. Mountains protect you from like tornadoes and hurricanes.
For thousands of years, the flatland demons reign supreme.
But wait a
Until the men
minute.
of old built mountains for our protection. Can't keep it together.
You should be a voice actor. That's great.
The secret is just getting really close to the mic. That's it.
That's the secret.
I ain't gonna even try it.
But how? Okay, look, I'm not a weatherologist, but I would imagine that if you got mountains over here, right, and then you got mountains over here.
Jury did his I'm not a somethingologist.
Oh, is that your thing?
I don't know when
become
it
a
became
thing.
my thing.
That's
I,
amazing.
I stole it from somewhere and I don't remember where. Like I heard it on a movie or something, just stole it.
I
like a
re-listened
decade
to,
ago.
I re-listened to all of our episodes, and I've been
I said that a
noticing.
lot.
Dang, that's a deep dive.
Yeah, you said you weren't a Germanologist fairly recently.
I'm not. To be fair, I'm not.
Yeah.
Did I lie? I did not lie.
I mean,
But no, I'm not a weatherologist. But you got I figure if you got mountains over here, and let's say like 100 miles away, because mountains aren't like I mean, there's gonna be a group of mountains, right? But then there's like
Yeah.
some space in between, and there's more mountains.
A valley in the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't a tornado start in between the mountains?
Okay, that's a good point.
I mean, I don't know.
You are right. A tornado can start, but I guess I'm
not
thinking
saying
about-
you're wrong. I just
No,
I just don't get it.
I'm thinking about how I viewed the mountains as protection because I was so close to them. Now, if I didn't live so close to them, like right at the foot of them, I'd be like, oh crap. There's a nader.
But you're saying it also helps with hurricanes and all that? Pushes all that out?
Okay. Wesley, you might have to Google all this because I'm not sure if any of this is correct, but I feel it I just have a soul feeling that mountains protect you.
I feel like I've heard that before too, so you're probably right, and I have no idea what I'm about.
Yeah, what am I fact checking?
You're fact checking, are mountains protective?
I feel like it's got to be true.
It's got to be true. 100%.
It's just like a tall building protecting you. Mountains are a tall building from nature. Also, I want this Dr. Pepper so bad, but I want an ASMR moment. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that was like commercial perfect.
Yeah.
I went on a writer's retreat last weekend, and it was with a lot of drinking, and I was just constantly walking up to people and cracking them in their ears, scaring people.
Now, this might be a good time. I know we just had technical difficulty, and so we had to stop for a moment, but this might be a good time to play the first song. It has been about that time. So people can know what it is that you sound like.
I'm the person who says it's about a good time to
I'm
play
sorry,
a song.
you can go ahead and cut that out, Wesley, and let Ryan say it.
Hey, I think it's probably a good time to play a song.
Sure. This is a song about sticking up for your family, but it's also known as a murder song. It's called Rosemary. Marble headstone reads February 14th. Daughter, sister, loving wife. He mixed the pills in her purse with the words he rehearsed and turned it to an alibi. Ooh, I know that she wanted to leave you. Ooh, he's good at fooling everybody but me. Yeah, she never should have married that man. Oh, Rosemary, I'm taking matters into my own hands. It'll never touch a woman again. No. I've been washed in the water, but her sister's love is stronger than reason, and he gave me enough to forget about forgiveness. Take care of business, 'cause karma is a smoking gun. Ooh, I wouldn't even call it a crime, no. Ooh, I'm just taking an eye for an eye. Rosemary, yeah, she never should have married that man. Oh, Rosemary, well, now I've got blood on my hands, but I'll never touch a woman again. No. Ooh, they never came looking for him. Ooh, but I could tell you right where he is. If you dig too deep in my herb garden, you'll find him fertilizing a bed of rosemary. Oh, Rosemary, yeah, she never should have married that man. Oh, Rosemary, now I've got blood on my hands, yeah, but everything went to plan, and I'll never touch a woman again. No. Oh, Rosemary.
And we're back.
All right.
Hello.
Okay, so you said the song is about murder.
Yes.
What?
Murder.
A murder most foul.
I wish my voice could go that low. Yes, I love murder songs.
Sure.
I do not love murder. Let's be very clear about that. Like
That is an important distinction.
Very important.
Like this isn't about a murder that you have committed.
No.
Okay, just
no,
checking.
let that be on the record. Please, no. I can't even watch like murder. I mean, I'll listen to murder podcasts to get song ideas, but like murder TV shows, like I haven't watched the Jeffrey Dahmer thing yet. I don't know if I can do that.
I'm a little scared to watch
I just
that
finished it.
Oh my gosh.
one.
No, thank you.
I heard it was crazy dark.
It's like the darkest thing I've ever seen.
I've heard a lot of people are just mentally it's hard. So I can't do stuff like that, but I love the storytelling of it because it just has the fun twist. I love a chaotic little twist. And when we wrote that song, it's called Rosemary. And I'm also super huge into one-word titles. I just love that there's so many things that one word can turn into. And so my friends Mackenzie Carpenter and Mia Mantia and I sat down on Zoom during the pandemic and just Mackenzie had this idea, Rosemary never should have married that man because the Rosemary has Mary in it. And we just flew. And just, it was so fun. It was one of those days where it just all worked. That's what you wish for as a writer every day, for it to just all work. And typically you only really get that when you're writing with your friends. But I love that song and it, you know, the twist in it where the sister is named Rosemary. Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay. She never should have married that man. And then she died. So, and I'm pretty sure that her husband killed her. So I'm going to kill the husband and bury him in my rosemary garden. And it's a lot
poetic
of
justice there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just really love that song. And we recorded it in February this year. And it's going to come out in February next year. So
Awesome.
Oh, wow. So it's going to be a good while before it's out.
Yes. I am very old school about it all. Everyone does a single every 6 weeks or every 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, put it on TikTok, and if it blows up, you put it out. Of course, if something on TikTok blew up, I would put it out. But
Sure.
since nothing has really popped up on TikTok, I'm just taking the time I want. Because I put out an EP in July of 2021, and for me personally, I feel like I need to let that music live and have a little bit of a life before I go and say, okay, forget about that music. Here's new stuff.
Yeah.
I want it to have time to simmer. And I like how older artists did the thing where you'd write a record, release it, and play it for 2 years, and then put out a new record. You'd give that record time to have its own life instead of just going so quick. And also quality over quantity for me, dude.
100%.
I cannot just put out stuff to put it out.
But that also leaves time for people to get excited about what's next.
Yes, exactly.
I feel like nowadays everyone's coming out with a million things all the time. Not even just in music, it's in everything, right?
Absolutely.
Like on YouTube, every channel posts a video every single day now. TV shows, they're coming out with like, I don't know, new shows, like 50 new shows a year. Like
It's so much.
It's just not exciting anymore when things come out.
Yeah, I like the excitement aspect. Like Taylor Swift doesn't put out music every couple of months, and that gets people more excited. Obviously, I'm nowhere near Taylor Swift, but like we're working towards something big like that. And
I mean, you're not that far away. She's like 20 miles down the road.
Oh my gosh, don't say that.
Well, I mean, doesn't she live in Franklin?
Well, she moved to New York.
Oh, I don't know. I don't follow Taylor
Who knows
Swift's
where Taylor
life.
Swift is?
Yeah, I don't know where she lives.
She's
now.
wherever you need her to be in the moment.
I know.
Yeah,
She's
she
always in
lives
our hearts.
here. Yes, exactly. And for the podcast listeners, we're pointing to our hearts.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we went down some interesting rabbit holes. And
Just right off
I
the
get
rip.
deeply lost. Let me come back real quick here for a second. Okay, so we talked about this off air, but you tried out for American Idol a few
Yes.
years ago, and actually met somebody who's been on our show in the past. But anyway, that's not the highlight of your American Idol story. Just an interesting coincidence.
Yeah.
But talk to me about Idol. Like, I feel like most singers are like dream of like doing one of the shows.
Yes, exactly.
And some of those people actually audition, but you actually did, and you actually had a cool experience with it.
Yeah. I love Carrie Underwood. And so she did Idol. And I always was like, oh, when I turn 16, I'm going to audition for Idol. And it didn't happen until I was 19. Old.
Dying.
Just like the creative clock is just ticking at that point. But I auditioned in December of 2018. I was a sophomore in college. And they they were like, hey, pick these 4 places. One of them is where you're going to audition. And they didn't put me up. They didn't pay for the flight or anything. So I was like, if I'm going to pay for this, I'm going as far as I can. So I went to Idaho.
That's like the opposite
Coeur
reaction that I would have
Really?
for sure. I would have been like, what is the cheapest, closest way I can do this? They ain't paying for it.
I was like, spend it. $300, fly to Idaho. And my parents actually came, and the one thing I wanted to do after the audition went good. I guess I should talk about that eventually. But I wanted to ride horses in the mountains of Idaho. And it's back to mountains. The mountains in Idaho were not very different from Virginia. They were
So really just hills.
Oh gosh, I shouldn't have said that. They were tiny mountains compared to the biggies. And then we did that. It was really cool. But so yeah, I flew to Idaho.
Yeah. Now you went to Coeur d'Alene.
Coeur d'Alene, yes.
Which
beautiful.
Coeur d'Alene is so beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
When I went to Coeur d'Alene, I was like, I think I want to move here. And then I talked to you about moving there. And then COVID happened. And then now we're still
Now
here.
you're in Nashville.
Yeah.
Well, Coeur d'Alene, we auditioned on a lake. Like they had these big mirrored signs that said Idol, and behind it was a lake. And we got there at like 6 a.m. And so there was still like fog on it, and it was beautiful. And they actually stored us on these like houseboats all day. We just sat and ate food on boats on a lake.
Weird.
And then there was a little like country club type of indoor space where like Katy Perry, Luke Bryan, and Lionel Richie sat and we did the actual interview. But American Idol was cool. My cool story with the interview is that I was wearing heeled boots back then. I don't know if you can see on the podcast, but I basically wear work boots at this point because farmer's kid, comfort is everything to me, honestly. And but I was wearing heeled boots, and I wore the soles off of one, and the soles fell off before I walked into the audition. So I sounded like a damn horse walking in there. Opened up the door, me and my guitar. And then so I started making jokes about it because I love to make fun of myself, and I overshare constantly with everyone, even all these American Idol famous judges. And then Katy Perry goes, "Oh, what size shoe are you?" And I'm like, 7.5, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden there's a crew member at my feet taking off my boots, putting these Katy Perry sparkly pumps on. I have wide leg blue jeans on. I was in a Canadian tuxedo. I was in blue jeans, like a pink top and a denim jacket over, like totally countrified. And then all of a sudden, bam, sparkles in the middle of the audition. So that was really fun. Got those shoes. I still have the shoes. I wore the shoes to what is it called? Hollywood Week as a little reminder, like, hey, remember me? I still got kicked off though, but it's fine. Yeah, I sang.
Katy Perry seems really cool.
She was like entertainer to the max. She was just center of attention. She always had something funny to say. She always wore the crazy clothes because, that's like her thing.
Right.
Katy Perry was cool. And Luke Bryan was like the uncle. And Lionel Richie was like the grandpa. The nurturing guy, and Luke Bryan's like the let's have a beer kind of guy.
Yeah. So is this okay? So what's
Katy Perry gives you
stage in
shoes
this?
kind of girl.
Katy
She's
Perry
never
gives
given
you
me
shoes.
Maybe next time. But so what stage is this in the process? Because I assume
yes.
first you had to send in a video or something, or I have no idea how it works.
Yes. So this was when I met Katy Perry and got the shoes. Was stage two of the process,
Oh,
or
wow.
3.
I'm surprised they're there
3.
that early. That they
Sorry.
have them out there that.
Yeah, I sent in a video, and then they said, hey, come audition for the producers. And I did that in Nashville, and then I went to Katy Perry. So I guess it was 3.
Sure. Yeah.
I only got to stage 4, but they sent me to Hollywood in
Did they pay for that
You
trip?
got a golden
paid for that.
ticket.
You gotta go to ticket. I
Right.
did.
That's when they just pass you through, right? They're just like, you're just so good, you just move on, right? Or I'm thinking the golden buzzer from the other one.
Oh,
Yeah,
Golden
it's a
Buzzer is
different show.
AGT.
I'm thinking a different show. I'm thinking the
Yeah.
wrong show.
This
Golden
one-
ticket is you get to go to Hollywood. and
Yeah.
do Hollywood
Okay.
week.
Gotcha.
I think you have to have 2 yeses or 3. Maybe just 3 yeses.
Oh, wow.
I think it might have to be unanimous. But yeah, I went to Hollywood. And y'all, I've been looking for my golden ticket for years. I lost it.
Oh,
man.
no.
I somehow, in the midst of all the college moving every semester, it's gone. I thought it was in this random. I needed a notebook for one of the auditions for some reason, and so I put my golden ticket in a Seahawks notebook. I don't even know what kind of sports the Seahawks play.
I think it's hockey.
Maybe that
Wesley?
Football.
football.
Yeah.
Clearly, we
Let's
don't
play
know the
help.
sports.
But yeah, the golden ticket is no longer
You have
there.
to fact check that. That's just basic human knowledge.
Wait, which one was it?
The Seahawks.
Football.
Yeah.
Football.
Yeah.
Sports.
I think Seattle, cold, ice, snow, hockey.
I probably bought it in Coeur d'Alene, which is near Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check that. I don't know.
Closer
is.
than we are.
Yeah, y'all are from the West Coast. You know.
It's like 4-hour, 5-hour drive off the top of my
Yeah.
head.
That explains why I got my hands on that. I'm obviously such a sports girl. Actually, I'm in a fantasy football league right now, and it's me and my girlfriends, and we had one person missing, and so I was thinking, like, who could I add to this fantasy football league that will just immediately, no questions, download it? My mom. And so,
Not the answer I was expecting.
so my mom, we wanted it to be all the chicks, you know, just
Sure.
the girls. My mom is beating us right now. And her name is Runs and Throwses. And she's got
That's a
the
great
Guns N'
name.
Roses logo. And me, I'm in last place. For the first few weeks, I played with a player on the bench and didn't even know it because I just didn't open it up. Anyways,
I have no idea how fantasy football. I don't follow
Yeah.
any sports and never
Sports.
really have. I don't know anything about them. I don't even know all the rules of football. Like I couldn't even tell you.
there's too many.
All right. I feel like it's a complicated game. It's probably not because a lot of dumb people are real into it, but it can't be that complicated.
Damn.
There's also a lot of smart people who are into it, but
I love the buttons.
They're great, right?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm reining it back in. How did I get to football? Okay, golden ticket in a
Golden
season.
ticket.
By the way, this episode now might be called SJ Lost Her Golden Ticket.
That would be amazing.
Or like something with the mountains protecting you. I'll have to work on that.
workshop
the
it a
golden
bit.
ticket one.
Yeah.
Yeah, golden ticket gone. But I still went to Hollywood Week. Went there.
By the way, did you play Party in the USA when you drove through LA? When you
No,
hopped
I'm a
off a plane in
loser.
LAX?
I'm a loser.
With a dream in your cardigan?
I didn't even bring a damn cardigan.
What are you doing? That's why you didn't make it.
I know, exactly. I messed up my juju from the start. No, the one thing I do remember that was a funny little thing is someone that was on Idol with me had a pair of mini hands with him. You know those things that I have
Those,
I
like,
have one
little
in my
sticky
purse
things?
right now.
You mean like
It's like
a backup set of hands that are just smaller than your standard
no,
hands?
no. It's like you put it fits on the tip of your finger and it's a plastic hand and it's just like this. Or I have one with the middle finger on it in my purse right now.
Oh, I think I have seen that.
Yeah.
What you're talking about.
There was a guy that auditioned and he was like trying to pick up.
Ugh.
See, there's the mini hands. It's sort of creepy when you look at
It's
it
real
that way.
creepy, yeah.
Yeah. That one looks like a moose.
I love that. I love mini things anyways. But this guy was like picking up his luggage at LAX with the mini hands and I specifically have a video of it. No Miley Cyrus for me though, sadly. I didn't.
When you saw him, did you just go, wow, welcome to the land of fame excess?
Oh,
Whoa. Am I going to fit in?
and then I jumped in a cab. So here I am for the first time.
Look to my right, and I saw the Hollywood sign.
Actually,
So when you're
didn't.
leaving LAX, I don't think it's on your right. It's like kind of a ways out.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah?
sure.
Mm.
Well, it is away from it.
Yeah.
I never saw the Hollywood sign. I was bummed.
Really? You can see it
Never.
from like a lot of places. It's like up on a
Yeah.
hill.
The people that got further in the American Idol process than me had like a day off and they went. Because I had some
But
friends.
did you see it from a distance?
I didn't even see it from a distance.
Weird. 'Cause I know I've heard the hike up to it's like real steep, annoying hike. But I've never
Damn.
done it. I don't
Ew. Hike. Just kidding.
know. You grew up on a farm.
I know.
You
I'm
love
not,
the mountains.
I love the mountains, but I definitely am not a big hiker. I think it's because I'm afraid of like bears and cougars. Lions and tigers
fair.
and bears. Oh my. Do you have a button for that? Like a scared
No.
button?
I'm
No.
thinking about it. No.
No.
That's not going to cut it.
And then SJ came across a bear. That's why I'm scared of hiking. But yeah, no Hollywood sign, no Miley Cyrus. Dreams were crushed, for lack of a better term. I had a lot of fun out there.
Classic LA.
Dreams are
Classic.
crushed.
I did go to In-N-Out though,
Oh.
and I hated it.
Okay, you can go ahead and get out of here right this second. Because
Hey,
that is the best burger on the face of the planet.
the best
This is-
burger on the face of the planet.
I've
is
never
at the
had a better burger.
McDonald farm.
I've never had a
Thank
better
you.
burger.
McDonald farm?
The McDonald farm.
Like
Like
your-
old McDonald's?
my parents' place.
Okay.
Gotcha.
My parents make a mean burger.
You got to clarify, because at least not yet, you're not the most famous McDonald.
I know. We're working on that. I don't know if anyone could ever surpass
Ronald?
McDonald's or Ronald. Yeah.
So I watched your vlog about Hollywood Week.
Oh,
and
yes.
what you said in it was, quote, the fries were disappointing. And that's a pretty standard opinion to have.
I mean, yeah, for people who don't get it.
I don't even.
But there's
But
a lot
of people are not
there's
fans
a lot
of the
of
fries.
people who love In-N-Out, but like aren't a fan of the fries.
And that's
I like the
because
fries.
that's because they're naturally cut from whole potatoes. You could see them do it right in the back, and then they dump them right in the oil. And then and now some people don't like because they get too soggy. That's why you get them well done.
Dude, the fries just did
Animal
not do
style
it for
well
me.
done.
I remember. Did I say anything about the
You didn't
burger?
say anything about the burger.
Yeah,
You
because
said
it was
you found
that
the
bad.
fries disappointing. Wow. Right now you're insulting a national treasure. That's like saying
That's like saying
that West Virginia song.
Yeah, that's
is
exactly
not
what
a
I was
good
about
song.
to say.
Yeah.
That's like saying Country Roads isn't about West Virginia to a West Virginian.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just here to offend, apparently.
It hurt me deep inside.
I'm sorry.
I can't even have In-N-Out. Last time I went to San Diego, I couldn't eat In-N-Out because of my
Aw,
taste thing.
yeah.
And it was like the worst. I was just
Oh,
like,
I'm
this is the worst thing
sorry.
that could have ever happened to me. And you're out there
Well, you're not
just
missing that
hating
much,
it.
dude.
Just hating it. I'm so sorry. I think the problem is your order's wrong. I don't know what you ordered, but it was wrong.
I went with the standard like cheeseburger.
No, you get the double, grilled onions, extra toast in the
Oh.
bun, well done animal style fries.
Animal
Mustard
style.
fried.
Okay, I would like to try animal style.
Jesus Christ.
See, I like a thick burger. And there were thin babies. So.
Well, yeah, they're
thin.
quarter pounders.
Yeah.
That's why you get the double. Then it's a half-pound burger.
Got to get the double.
And then you get the extra cheese in the middle as well. Make it extra cheesy. You just
making
don't know
me
what you're about.
hungry.
I see what it is. You just don't know what you're about.
That's a lot coming from a guy that can't eat In-N-Out anymore.
Oh shit!
It's only temporary. I'm missing it now.
I'm loving this, but not In-N-Out. I'm never gonna stop.
You know, they opened a Shake Shack here like a couple years ago, and I'd never had Shake Shack.
What do you think?
And everyone said Shake Shack's amazing. And I went and I got it, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It wasn't quite In-N-Out, but it was pretty good.
They have
but
a
it was-
thicker burger.
It is thicker. It is
Yeah,
thicker.
that's probably why I'm more like.
But it's also triple the cost. It's 3 times as expensive. Like it's just
And
not worth it.
There's a Steak and Shake by downtown Nashville, and I make a living
I've
playing
never
on
been.
Broadway, and I walk past it sometimes, and it makes me want to barf. The smell coming out of there.
Really? See, I've never been, but I know a lot of people love Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
I don't know what the
Probably
deal
because
is.
it's thick. I like them thick. I like them chunky. Y'all remember that song?
No.
Or maybe it's just an audio sound. My brain is just TikTok now.
Yeah.
It's bad.
I've never been on TikTok. I've purposefully avoided it.
You're smart.
Um,
TikTok is like as an artist, you have to.
Right. That's the
Which
thing. Is
is-
like it's how all social media is, though, right? Like, a new thing
Oh,
comes
yeah.
out, you have to
You
do
have
that
to.
thing.
Yeah.
The problem with TikTok is that it's not a great program, and the government keeps warning people and trying to get it banned from the U.S. because of the information that's being stolen
security.
from by China.
I have some
And,
friends
it's
who
like a-
refuse to. See, if I wasn't an artist, if I wasn't an artist, I'd
You
still
still
be on
would.
there.
It's
I
a
love
good time, right?
I love the randomness of TikTok. I'm on there's different sides of TikToks people can be on, and I'm definitely on country music TikTok, cowboy TikTok, farmer TikTok, and Zodiac TikTok. I
Oh.
love it. Some people
One of these
do.
things is not like the other.
I know, it's so different. I love when the people read those tarot cards, and I'll scroll through TikTok and it'll be like this random chick holding cards saying, "Oh my gosh, the spirits are telling me to tell you this." And I'm like, "Tell me, girl, I
Like
need
just
help."
you, or like everybody who watches the video.
Everybody. Every time I see the video, I saw one this morning, it was like 200,000 likes. But she didn't
my
put
God.
hashtags on it. So I was like, you know what? It's just this video found me. And then I find a way to relate it to my life and feel like I understand things more, even though I'm really confused.
Yeah. See, I just feel like I'm getting old.
That was like a description of modern life.
Fake it till you make it. And watch
Okay,
TikTok.
Wait, rewind to Hollywood. So,
Yes.
so what happens when somebody goes to Hollywood?
Hollywood.
What happens when you get a golden ticket?
They fly you up. And the cool thing about being in Nashville, living in Nashville, is that I got on the plane and I already knew a bunch of people. There were people from my college because Belmont University is music and it's a
fun.
big music college. The whole plane was full of Nashville people. Excuse me, Dr. Pepper. And then they put you up in a hotel. I had a roommate, and then they about a day later they just start with 180 of you, and then they dwindle it down to like maybe 60 or 80 people in the first day or something. There's a lot of cuts.
Wow.
I think it's cut in half in the first day. I was one of the first day people that were gone, but they feed you. The food was amazing.
Nice.
And you sit in an auditorium all day and watch other people audition. And then
You just sit there just being like, I'm better than them. I'm
Yeah.
better than them.
Or-
And you're like, oh, I might not be as good as them. You know, you see that one
for
go.
me, I was sitting there like, I hate my life. I can't do this. And the thing about American Idol that freaked me out, that got me in my head, was it was a lot of vocals showing off. People just, whenever we would be in the break rooms and hanging out, people just wanted to sing and be like, yeah. And I am not like that. You know, I'll do that stuff if I'm on a stage, but off stage, I've honestly figured out I'm like a sandbagger off stage. I can sing the craziest stuff that I never thought I could sing on stage, but when I'm off, I can't do it. It's just all about a feeling. And so I sort of just like was there like
Stressing
standing in the corners watching all these people just vocally blow my mind. And then I got in my head. And then by the time that I auditioned, I wore my Katy Perry sparkly shoes, and I decided to sing a cappella. So it's just me and a microphone. It was not a good decision. But I sang Crazy by Patsy Cline, and I wanted to pay homage to the country legends that had came before me and show, like, I am a country artist, dude. Like, I'm not here to sing Beyonce. That ain't me. I'm here to sing Patsy Cline and Shania Twain and Alan Jackson and all those country legends. And I just shaky hands sang Crazy by Patsy Cline a cappella, and I'm so glad they didn't air it. It was terrible. My confidence was so low at that point in my life. But it pushed me to find myself as an artist, find out what I'm good at, figure out truly what songs work for my voice, what songs don't, the right style of country for me. Like, it catapulted me into finding myself. And of course, I'm finding myself every day. Like, even the past couple months with the songs I've written, I feel like I'm truly finding SJ McDonald. But I think the judges could see that I was so still young and green, even though at 19 I'd been playing with a band and performing since I was 10. I started playing with a band when I was 13, but even then I wasn't ready. I still had so much in me to figure out. And so standing and honestly embarrassing myself in front of 180 other singers and going into this like super self-conscious cocoon at American Idol, it catapulted me to a better place. Because I feel like if I went there today, I would know exactly what song I want to sing. I know exactly what I want to wear. I know my look. I know the songs that I sing. I know how to take care of my voice properly. Like, it would be so different. Maybe I'll do something like that again. I don't know.
Do you normally feel nervous when you first go on stage? Or is that was an abnormal situation?
Very abnormal.
Okay.
I'm normally very comfortable on stage. Always have been in the past few years. I don't remember ever being crazy nervous other than like the nervous peas. But yeah, that was like the worst stage fright I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, I could only imagine.
Because, I mean, you're sitting in a crowd just comparing yourself the whole time. Sorry, Ryan, what were you saying?
The button.
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
Got him.
Perfect.
Yeah, I could only... I want to say I could only imagine. I could only imagine. But
That was in my head, too.
I kind of can imagine. I've had similar kinds of experiences, but not like in front of like the celebrity factor or like the weight of American Idol. Okay, so are you familiar with Lightning 100?
Yes.
Okay, so they do like a Battle of the Bands competition every year.
I have a story about that.
Really?
I thought that I got into their Music City Mayhem like 2 years ago. And they had emailed me and they were like, we're so excited, you're in it. And I was so surprised because they don't normally do country. But I'm very obviously country. And then I was so excited, like called my friends, freaking out. And then they were like, actually, we messed it up. And we meant to send it to someone else.
This was 2 years ago?
When I think it was...
Someone may have taken your spot.
It was... Were you in it?
I was in it 2 years ago.
It was probably you.
Yeah.
But I mean, they don't do country artists. It
Yeah.
didn't make sense for me to be on there. I was very surprised. But anyways, that was my little story for it.
Yeah, that's brutal. I had something just like I had something just like that too. But I don't, like how do you do the
That's
okay?
brutal.
So recently,
I loved how you said that. That's brutal. You poor thing. Bless your heart.
bless your
Bless your heart. But I got into
heart.
the Music City Mayhem, so suck it.
No, we're not Southern, so we don't have the bless your heart.
Right,
We
right,
don't
right.
have we don't have the like go fuck yourself of Christian blessings. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. We just say it outright.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the same point of what you
Yes.
just said, so I have a band. We're called Night Tides. It's like indie rock.
Yes, your
Okay.
stuff is really cool.
Oh, thank you. So recently, I don't know if I told you this or not, Jury. The Titans have a competition. Have you entered in this before?
Oh no.
So the Titans have a competition every year. And last year we entered because like I have a friend who somehow hears about it every year. And didn't hear anything. This year we get a message back. And what it is you play a battle of the bands. They narrow it down from whoever enters to like 5. And those 5 people play a battle of the bands. And if you win that, you get to open at a Titans game at the stadium.
Oh, that's awesome.
So pretty cool, right? So this year, I got an email that said like, hey, we've selected you as a finalist. Are you available this day to play the competition? Did I tell you about this?
Yeah, you told me about this.
Yeah, so I messaged them back, and that night happened to be our guitar player's birthday party, and it had been planned way in advance. So rather than saying like, yes, absolutely, we can play, I said, I think so. What time is it? And I just wanted to get a little more information, and they emailed me back, and they were like, well, they're like, we're not 100% sure yet. We're just gauging interest or something like that, and we'll get back to you tomorrow. I'm like, okay, cool. They get back to me tomorrow. Oh, we decided to go with somebody else. And I was just like, no. Did I ruin it by not just being like, yes, pick me?
Yeah.
Like the fact that I have a schedule, did that like ruin it? I don't know.
Dang.
Anyway, maybe not.
I hate it when stuff like that happens. It's
You're,
so
like,
easy to
so
get
close.
so upset with yourself.
I
when
told my
stuff like that
girlfriend like,
happens.
hey, like the Titans, we might get to open at the stadium. I'm already
Right.
thinking like, I'm going to invite my dad. Maybe my dad will fly out from California for this. They're playing
Right.
at a
You're thinking it's a
stadium.
done
Like,
deal. You're planning it out.
I mean, yeah. Anyway, and
Dang.
obviously we would have still had to play the Battle of the Bands, but to me it was like a big honor to be narrowed down from however many people enter to like just
exactly.
those 5.
Yeah.
And then it got all pulled away. But anyway,
hate that.
the original story was so my band did Music City Mayhem the last 2 years, and
Took my spot, but it's fine.
yeah, sorry.
Go on. I'm not letting this die.
So with that, like I had the experience of playing and thinking it's for this big opportunity. Now it's not nearly the same kind of opportunity as American Idol.
Oh, but it's still for Nashville. Music City Mayhem is a big thing.
And I have felt that pressure that you were talking about when you were on stage. And like in those moments, it's weird because sometimes you have those moments where you're like, everything is on the line, and then you just step up and like you do your best thing you've ever done because of that. And other times you're like not doing your best, and you know that, and you know they know that, and you're like, I wish I were doing better right now.
Yeah.
I know
wish-
that I'm not, and they probably think I don't know, but I do know.
Yes, it's like I wish I was anywhere but here right now. Even though it's a great opportunity, and when you're in the midst of something like that, you just want to run.
You're like, I
And-
can't wait to get out of here.
Exactly. I couldn't wait to be done in the middle of singing my song a cappella in front of all of these judges.
So why did you choose to do acapella?
Because I sucked at guitar. I will.
They wouldn't like play a track.
They didn't do tracks.
Oh wow.
No, and I don't think so. Okay, Wesley, can we fact check that? Do they do
That
tracks?
seems hard to fact check. Wesley,
I'm pretty
on
sure-
Hollywood Week on American Idol, do they
they
allow
do?
the performers to do tracks?
I really don't think they did. And something about the chords and crazy were just a little crazy. And I just wasn't as good as a guitar player. Now I will absolutely play that song any time of day.
Like no problem.
No problem. But at 19 I wasn't as confident in myself as a singer. I wasn't as confident as myself as a guitar player. I wasn't just confident enough. I thought I was, but I truly am now. But it sucks. Comparison will just take your creativity, take your joy in an instant. And I struggle with that every day in Nashville, especially with all the TikTok stuff and now seeing the people that I was on American Idol with like have these great opportunities. And I do remember when I was on Idol, after they produced the show, because, you know, they love to go visit people's hometowns and like have a story or have the drama. And they chose this guy and they were like, oh yeah, he's a farm kid. And I was trying to get in as the farm kid that year because that was my angle.
That year's farm kid.
I was going to be the farm kid. And then they're like, yeah, he lives on 15 acres with his family. And I was like, okay, it's not about, you know, some people, you can have a farm and it be small. But I was like, my dad has 500 cows. I was like,
how many cows you got?
yeah. I'm like, there are like 500 cows and like 20,000 turkeys over there you could have videoed, and you chose the kid with 15 acres. This was my one angle.
Like 15 acres? That's just a backyard.
Yeah, exactly. So I was pissed about that. But I mean, nothing, I want to be very clear, nothing against small farms. The dream for me is to have my own
You heard it
small
here
farm.
first. She hates small farms. No.
But yeah, that was, you know, you let yourself think about that stuff and dwindle on it too much. It just takes your joy. It took my joy for a while.
How many acres does 500 cows take?
I don't know. My dad farms like 800 acres.
Oh my!
500
that's
is
big.
like 500. It's a changing a lot because dad, like, cows are born and then cows are sold. It probably
Right.
stays between probably like, I don't even know. Probably half of that is what is always there.
Mm-hmm.
It fluctuates a lot.
800 acres though. That seems like a lot of acres.
Yeah.
It seems big. I don't know how
big.
big farms are. Like I'm not.
It's not big
not
compared-
a farmologist, but
Good thing I am.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Skip the sound.
Oh, I
skip
actually
it.
want to try random sound.
Yeah,
But it's
go for
not
it.
the farm. My parents' farm is nothing compared to like the stuff out west. But it's you know, it's big enough to support a family, and like I guess I'm the fourth or fifth generation of it. My great great grandpa farmed too. So I think that's 5 generations. I don't know. But
all right. I got a farm specific question
Okay.
that I just realized because I was gonna say, well, I know that his grandparents have a farm. I was gonna have a farm. They have a ranch.
Thank you.
And then I was gonna say, what's the difference?
I think it's just size.
Well,
That's
theirs
all I
is
know.
about 1,000 acres, right?
Yeah,
so
that's-
it's like similar.
Oh, that is
Similar size. That's what I was
But
thinking.
do
Yeah.
they run horses?
They have horses, but the horses are, well, I feel like they're mostly for like fun.
Gotcha.
But they do use horse. They have cattle,
They use horses to
and
herd
they
it.
use
some?
horses to herd
Yeah,
cattle.
I think that's a big difference because we use tractors, grain, 4-wheelers
Mm-hmm.
to get the cattle. Dad trains the cows to come to the sound of tractors and grain.
Oh, here we go. A farm is a piece of property that is used for growing crops. A ranch is a piece of property that is used to raise livestock.
That's weird because my family does
So you-
livestock.
So maybe you
But we
grew up
call
on
it a farm.
ranch.
They
Well,
don't have. Wait,
I
do
mean-
they not have any?
Like
any
Dad grows sorghum and corn, I think, and hay, of course.
Well,
For
those
the-
are crops.
Yeah, those are crops. So that
Yeah.
makes it a. What does that make it?
you
I'm
might
That's a farm.
be
confused.
That'd be a farm.
You might be a farm and a ranch.
Yeah, I mean,
You're a French.
also, I'm sure,
From a French. That sounds too close
You
to
know.
frat for me.
like colloquial, interchangeably.
That's like-
interchangeable, probably. You
That's
know.
like a Southern person saying they met someone that was French. Like, I met this French girl. She said, "We."
Okay. All right. I'm going to use that moment to jump back to American Idol. I know you're trying to take us to farms, but I wanted
yeah.
to ask. So, when you were singing "Crazy," could you tell? Did you feel like it wasn't going well in the moment? First of all, I feel like
Yeah.
you've implied that.
I
Could you
definitely
see
did.
that on the judges' faces?
I will say they weren't like smiling at me. They weren't like, you can read people's faces. I'm not the best at it, but I remember not seeing them being like oh yeah, like this works kind of moment. It was more like a mediocre response because, you know, though I love that song, you know, the way I sang it a cappella in itself is just hard and
Yeah.
it just wasn't right in the moment. And my voice was, I have a really big range, but I have more of a mid type of voice. Like, excuse me, I don't know how to explain it. I
Not
can
super
sing,
low or super high.
yeah, I can sing pretty high, pretty low, but where am I even going with this? I just didn't. My voice has matured and gotten a little deeper over the years and more refined. And you know, a woman's voice doesn't stop maturing until she's 26. So I got a whole 3 years left
Really?
on this sucker.
I've never heard
I
that
can-
before.
Things can change. Yeah.
Do guys' voices stop at different times?
35. I have heard.
For guys?
That's what I've heard.
I feel like
Wow.
you just made that shit up because you just turned 35.
No, I heard that from Josh Wright,
Good Lord.
who was also on American Idol.
Ah,
Oh.
35.
Really?
Guys
Yeah.
get 10 more years
We get
on
10
us,
more
or
years
9
of-
more years.
Does that mean we get progressively deeper?
I don't know. I think it's just more mature, whatever that
'Cause I'm
get
about to be
more
35
manly.
in like 1 month. So I need to know if I need to like, I don't know, like speed things up right now. Like, do I like start talking deeper to like force it before I hit that limit? Like, I don't know. Like, what's the deal? How does this work?
I did not know that about
That's a good
guys.
question. That's what I heard.
That's such a
Yeah.
crazy difference.
That's weird.
But like I heard that from an American Idol alum, and that's what made me trust it. But like
Yeah.
you're kind of an American Idol alum.
I
and
kind
so,
of.
like,
Take it back.
Yeah,
I
by
am.
definition.
so I could take it. I could take your word for it.
Take it.
I mean, I am. Now I'm going to say girls mature 26. I'd never heard
Exactly.
before.
Take it because I'm right. Women are always right, anyways.
100%.
That's what I've been told.
So
Good guys. Good guys.
Okay, I have a thought / question. So we're talking. Hold on, bring it back. I'm like, you're going to try to take it to farms, and I
You know,
wanna
I
hear
know.
I know.
farms.
We're here.
That's what I want to talk about. I want to hear about farm life. Like, I grew up in the city.
I know. It's like, oh, well, we're here because I guess I might be a musician.
Well, this is what I want to say because you were talking about how this experience of feeling like you kind of crashed and burned on crazy, like that has helped you to find yourself. I think that's really beautiful and really interesting to talk about because. So I can tell. So I watched, like I said, I watched that video last night, and it said 3 years ago on Instagram or on YouTube.
Yes, it
But-
aired in spring of 2019. So that's when I put out the videos.
So like the small micro slice of life I saw of like 19-year-old version of you definitely seems a lot less mature than you only 3 years later.
Yeah.
Like you seemed a lot more like wide-eyed girl who's like, oh my God, I'm doing
Yeah.
music. and
But now
here
she's
we
been through a
are, blah, blah,
pandemic.
blah."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Now I've seen trauma. What's the button
Yeah.
for that? Trauma.
In a world where trauma
this is
no
we've used
longer
that button
involved.
already more than any button.
I mean, she picked it random.
Yeah, he doesn't even know.
But you
Oh.
went with it.
Oh, I knew what button it was. But yes,
So I can
definitely-
tell like
that's
you're
cool.
far more confident now.
Farm
Than you were.
more confident. Anyway,
Yeah, put it there.
Hey!
put it there,
So
baby.
anyway, cows, am I right? Yeah. So do you feel like that experience on Idol like helped you like
Oh, absolutely. I've said this
Talk to
word
me
a couple
about
times,
that.
but it totally catapulted me into, whoa, you thought you were confident in yourself. Actually, you're not. You need to go find yourself and work your ass off more. And at that point, I had been playing, like I said, with a band since I was 13. By when I auditioned, it was December of 2018. I'd been playing down on Broadway, taking requests and learning how to react to any type of crowd for about a year and a half. I started working there my first week in town.
Oh, wow.
Shout out Lower Broadway. That's how I paid for college. I'm very grateful. But it just showed me that I just didn't know myself as well as I thought I did. And I was 19. I still needed to learn and grow up. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely want to hold on to my inner child for forever. And I will until the day I die. But there was just more adulting to happen and more artistry to develop in myself.
Do you have thoughts about for somebody who's like young and trying to find themselves? Like you hear that a lot when you're young, like finding yourself, but like not a lot of instruction about what
Yeah.
you should do.
See, I think that the best way to find yourself is not follow instruction.
Just live life.
Yeah, just live it. Take it as it goes. Hope it works. And if it doesn't, try something different. I mean, I'm not in the world's craziest place in life. I am completely, utterly happy with where I am in life. I'm focused. My main focus since I've probably been about like 16 or 17 has been be happy where you are. Appreciate where you are, because how are you going to appreciate where you get to if you didn't appreciate where you were before? And SJ, you lost your thought. Hold on. I do this a lot. I just feel like if I hadn't had those moments with no blueprint of how to make it better, then I wouldn't have made it better in the right way. Like I wouldn't have improved myself without trial and error. If you follow a step-by-step plan of like how to get a record deal, or like even something as simple as like how to fall in love, blah blah blah. It's not going to work out, right? Because that's just not how life naturally works. So when it comes to advice for someone that's like, say if you're 19, 18 listening, and maybe you just did Idol or had an experience like that and it didn't work out, it's for a reason. The only way you're going to find yourself is just by living your life and absorbing it and taking your time to really, really think back to what has happened. You know, just taking your time to reflect as you get older. Because, like, honestly, it wasn't until the past couple months that I realized how much something like Idol helped me become who I am. And I'm changing every day. Like, the person I was a year ago is not who I am now. You know, my confidence has gone up, and I truly feel like I deserve to be where I am now. I'm proud of myself, it's hard to get to. It's hard to get to. And I don't even have any crazy things in my life. I'm completely independent. I don't have a record deal, nothing, but I'm happy and proud of myself. And 19-year-old SJ just struggled with all that.
And outside of, I know you said you play on Broadway a lot, but outside of that, do you play a lot around? Because, I mean, we didn't actually say this.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably fun to mention. Yeah, when your aunt and uncle were in town, we took them to, what's it called?
Listening room.
Listening room. And and you were there performing. And me and him went outside to vape. And we were just about to start the show again.
Yep.
Right? We were just still in the planning stages. And so we were outside, and he was like, "She's pretty good, right?" He's like, "You want to get her on the show?" And like right there, right after you performed, he like went on Facebook, was it like or Instagram or something?
I swore I got Ryan's message in the middle of the show. Like, I feel like I did because I had my phone up there in case I was playing a new song and wanted lyrics. I'm pretty sure I looked down on it and saw.
You're trying to read your lyrics and Ryan's name pops out on the cover.
Hey, I'm actually at your show right now. I'm pretty sure that's what the message is.
Probably.
But
yeah.
When it comes to playing around, I play three nights a weekend downtown to pay the bills, and I write songs during the week, and then I'll play like a writer's round once or twice a month. And the goal for me, this Dr. Pepper is not good for the the belches, whatever.
Belches.
Wrong word. Going back. The goal is to get on the road. So even though I love playing downtown on Broadway, you know, I am not writing songs to be a cover song singer.
Right.
I'm writing songs to go.
It'd be weird if you were.
It would be weird. It would be a waste of my time. But I'm writing songs to get out and play my own in little bars all over across the U.S. And I've been very lucky this year to play in we've been to Colorado, Wisconsin, Maryland. I played in Alabama and next month. So Key West, I played in Key West Songwriters Festival. I was really grateful to be a part of that. But yeah, the goal is to not stay down there. I play a lot. I am full-time musician. I've been a full-time musician, fully supporting myself for 5 years on music.
That's crazy.
It's
because you're only
crazy
23.
Yeah. And now you do have to consider that 4 of those 5 years I was in college.
Sure.
So I had
living expenses were a little different.
Yeah. FAFSA, shout out FAFSA. FAFSA, you helped a girl out.
You're welcome. Thank you. I used to process financial aid for
No
Belmont.
way.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well,
there may have been overlap there.
Yeah. What years did you go to Belmont?
2017 to 2021.
Oh, yeah. No, my first day was January 22nd, 2018.
Okay, because I was about to blame you for us getting audited through FAFSA every year.
Oh.
They were like, "Oh, you can't be this poor." Like,
oh,
yes,
yeah. Selected for that. To be fair, it's a random selection.
Yeah.
And it's
I think we
35% of students.
Okay, that's not bad.
So it's not
I think
so
we
bad.
got it twice a year.
But yeah, if you have the better FAFSA scores, you get selected a lot more. They say it's random, but it's
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
government's never random.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
They know.
They're trying to get you.
I feel like it's time for that sound again. The government knows what they're doing.
They know.
They know.
That's your sound.
I know, and I thought I was a happy person, but I like this creepy sound.
Do you not know what that is?
Some TV show I don't
It makes
remember.
me sad inside.
23.
Yeah, I know. The X-Files theme.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that reminds me of Criminal Minds-ish.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Criminal Minds girl.
Mm-hmm. That's right, because you like all the true crimes and stuff for the most part, it sounds
Yeah.
like. Which, do you have a favorite?
Not really. I like My Favorite Murder. It's a little podcast that they tell short stories, and it's not all about murder. It's just crazy.
Do you know
stories.
Ashley Flowers?
No, I like that name though.
Yeah, she has a podcast about true crime. I forget what it's called, but it's like pretty successful.
Huh.
People know about it. I don't know it because I've listened to her other podcast that's called Supernatural, and it's all about like supernatural stuff, like the Skinwalker Ranch and UFOs and aliens and like weird conspiracies and stuff.
If I listened to that stuff, I would get in my head. Like a couple months ago,
it's a little creepy.
I was up until 3 or 4. A couple weeks ago, I was up until like 3 or 4 in the morning, took a shower, and then went to my kitchen to get a cup of water and saw that my outside light was on that was motion censored. And I spent a solid hour in my house, like silently just taking one step every 10 minutes and like trying to lower my heart rate so I could hear if someone was outside. Like I would get too in my head about that. I'm afraid of everything.
Oh man.
I'm afraid of the dark. Are
And it
y'all
was probably
cool with
like
the
a
dark?
skunk walked by and
It
turned the light
definitely
on.
was. Or maybe a squirrel.
Scared of the dark? No.
I'm absolutely scared of the dark.
Like any darkness, or you're talking like outside darkness? Because that's different.
Any darkness. Like
Really?
You know
if
what's
my-
funny? I'm more okay with outside darkness than inside darkness.
Really?
Same, 100%.
Yeah?
Inside darkness is way creepier.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense. It's definitely the opposite.
Yeah,
in
no,
reality.
outside's worse.
Yeah, because anything can come from anywhere in the outside,
Right,
unless
right.
if you're protected by the mountains.
No, I feel like we need a sound effect for that.
Yeah, what's this one?
That's the intro.
Dang it! No.
Try
okay.
again.
If you're protected by the mountains, you can go outside in the dark.
But the thing is, okay, but here's the deal though. If you're outside, you're gonna see some stuff in the dark. Like there's gonna be some squirrels. There's gonna be some birds, which aren't real.
There's gonna be a homeless man on the side of the road. You just never know.
There's gonna be some stuff. Inside though, if you're like at home and it's dark and like you hear something, then
Yeah.
Okay,
it's like
There's not supposed to
something's
be
in your
anything
house.
inside.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's creepier.
it is, and I should be okay with hearing the sounds because I have 3 roommates and a dog.
Sure. And also you grew up on a farm. I
Yes.
can only expect there's lots of sounds.
Yes, lots of sounds always. And the house I grew up in was built in like the 1850s or something, so it was
So
creaky.
it's creaking all the time.
Maybe that's why I'm scared. 'Cause
Probably haunted.
don't say that to me, dude. You cannot.
You don't live there anymore.
When you
But I go back.
when you just said like you live on a farm, there's probably lots of sounds. My brain went with a moo moo here.
Dude,
Oh my God.
back to American Idol.
Yeah.
When I was on my first audition before getting the golden ticket, they were doing B-roll or B-roll, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And they had me sing Old McDonald Had a Farm
Oh my
in
God.
front, surrounded by all the other
the best.
auditioners. I thought I love
That's what we
memes
got to
and
call
stuff
this
like
episode. S.A. McDonald had a farm.
Whoa.
Parents had a farm.
My bio on Instagram and TikTok and everything is Old McDonald Had a Guitar.
Oh, that's
Oh,
pretty
snap.
good. That's pretty good.
Quick. So we probably need to switch the cameras, but it's also a great time to do a song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go into the other room and do your second song.
Perfect. This song is called Break a Cowboy.
But he's getting pretty close to Amarillo, pushing 80 and dirty boots, chasing next month's rent and a buckle. If I know him like I do, can't say I didn't see it coming. I've heard stories about his kind. Can't blame him for hitting that road running and leaving me behind. Some things are made to grow wild. They're better alone and unbridled. No, you can't tame a bright-eyed Mustang, just like I can't change his mind. 'Cause a fence this man won't ever settle, won't ever be happy with the saddle. He needs room to roam under that Texas sky. 'Cause you can't break a cowboy, but Lord, I tried. I'm sure I'm not the first one to watch him ride off, and I sure won't be the last. his fault that he follows where his heart calls. He can't have love and a dream like that. He was a dead end and pearl snap buttons, but I'd do it all again. 'Cause I'd rather have what was than having nothing. He ain't meant for rain and end. Some things are made to grow wild. They're better alone and unbridled. No, you can't tame a bright-eyed Mustang, just like I can't change his mind. 'Cause a fenceless man won't ever settle, won't ever be happy with a saddle. He needs room to roam under that Texas sky. 'Cause you can't break a cowboy, but Lord, I tried, yes I did. Oh, I tried holding on but had no luck. I tried to run beside him, I couldn't keep up. He's a hell-bent believer, dust cloud lever, and he was almost mine. But some things are made to grow wild. They're better alone and unbridled. No, you can't tame a bright-eyed Mustang, just like I can't change his mind. 'Cause a fenceless man won't ever settle. He won't ever be happy with a saddle. He needs room to roam under that Texas sky. 'Cause you can't break a cowboy, but Lord, I tried. Lord, I tried.
All right.
And we're
Jinx.
back.
Okay, that song was called Break a Cowboy.
Break a cowboy, break him.
Okay, where'd that song come from?
I wrote it with Allison, Elena, and Brittany Moore, and Allison came in with this idea, and she said, you know, you can break a horse, but can you break a cowboy? And we all went like, light bulb. And then that song just fell out. I love it lyrically. It's like a good blend of like female George Strait mixed with like Shania Twain, Dixie Chick stuff, which is like Dixie Chick, Shania Twain, George Strait, Alan Jackson are like some of my big influences.
So I'm feeling like you really like 90s country.
I love 90s country, which is pretty funny for someone who was only 1 year old during the 90s. I make that joke all the time.
It
But-
makes me feel so old.
I'm sorry.
We were born in the 80s.
Man. But then you didn't miss any of the 90s country.
No,
I
90s
missed-
We didn't miss
Well,
not even one bit thing.
I missed
miss so
every bit
much.
of 90s country because I grew up on the West Coast.
That makes sense.
Well,
Yeah.
I listened to country a little bit when I was a kid. My mom listened to it, and so like I loved when I was a kid. I loved "Don't Break My Heart, My Achy Breaky Heart." That was like favorite, and then my other favorite was "Should Have Been a Cowboy."
Should have learned to rope
Yeah.
and ride.
I'm pretty sure I didn't listen to really any country music until I was like 27. And in fact, for a long time, if anybody asked me what kind of music I like, I would say literally anything but country. I
As a
hated
lot of people did
country,
do that.
and a lot of people used to say that.
Yeah. Well, one of the best compliments a country music singer can get is, I didn't like country music, but I really like your music.
Oh, that's,
It's like I never
oh,
liked
yeah.
country music before, but I like yours.
Yeah.
If people say that to me, I'm like, girl, you say the word, I'll do anything for you. I will wash your car. You know, I'll
My
babysit
car
your
is
used to
child.
kind
wash
of
cars.
dirty. We did, yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned how you play on Broadway.
Yeah.
So one thing that's interesting, so I do like a little tourism business out of the studio. I do like studio tours kind of a thing.
cool.
And so I meet a lot of people. And one thing a vibe I get off of tourists is that they feel like Broadway's the big show.
Yeah.
And like I think if you're a local, you think about it a little differently.
Absolutely.
But like for tourists, like they go down to Broadway and it's like stars in their eyes.
Well, it feels like it's like they're finding the talent. You know, people on Broadway, the tourists will sometimes treat you like you are Carrie Underwood. And they're like,
Really?
I'll play a show, and then I'm the person that I want to hang out with people after. So I've gotten on a party bus with strangers. I've gone in a limo with strangers, and they've all turned into great friends. But whenever things like this happen, I know.
Okay, we can't
where
just
you're going.
stop there.
You
You're just getting into
also
limos with strangers on a regular basis, or what?
And
I
you
check
also
the
like
vibes.
murder podcasts?
Okay. I trust my gut, and
Yeah.
let me also say, most of these people are women. Like, guys, I wouldn't do that
Sure,
with guys.
because women
Yeah.
don't murder.
Okay.
That's pretty much mostly true.
I don't know. I've heard, I mean, I feel like I heard a song recently.
Got me. Wait, I thought that went pew pew pew. Is that
There's
the wrong
two
one?
pages of sounds.
Wait.
Here you go again.
Women murder. Okay, so yeah, it is a little scary. My parents probably are worried about me sometimes, but I'm okay so far.
Yeah. The gut check is important.
The gut check.
It is.
I'm a big
Intuition's
believer
thing.
in the gut. I feed my gut whatever it wants, and the gut feeds me whatever I need. I actually like that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a thing.
Yeah. But yeah, people get down there, you sing with them, and then you want to hang out with them after, and they're like, I feel like I'm hanging out with a celebrity. And it's so weird because I'm just like, that's really nice of you, but also I'm just a human too, and I don't want you to treat me different just because you like my music, which is a wonderful thing that people would, out of all the bars down there, if one person comes to the show and is like, wow, I love your music and we connect, that means the world to me. But I just don't want people to think of me as like above them just because I sing and do this, because it's like, oh, I'm talking to you and you're a welder, like I can't do that, that's above me, just different.
Everyone's got different skills.
Yes, exactly.
Right. It's just, your skills are just performative.
Yeah. And now things change when the crowd is drinking, and then you got the Star Factor downtown, and
But you don't get tired of like people coming up to you, or you don't get like,
oh, dude,
especially if it's just rando,
I love talking to strangers. I will talk to anyone, anytime. Excuse me, especially if they're a stranger. If I know you, get away from me.
Not interested.
Just kidding.
We've already checked that off the box.
Yeah.
Now I know you too much. We're done here.
Too much. But no, I really enjoy meeting people. And I've been down there for 5 years. I did take a year off in the pandemic. I remember I was playing at a bar when the health department came in and said, no more. Get out. Of the bar.
Really?
Yeah. It was like
That's wild.
March 13th, 2020. And middle of our gig, gone. But so I took an actual year off. I came back actually, no. I took like 10 months off. It doesn't matter. But I've been down there for 5 years. And people really get burnt out down there. One, because it's hard on you vocally. That's why the best phrase that I've used downtown is no thank you. When people ask me to come play a gig, like, hey, bud, I need someone to cover my shift tonight really bad. I'm like, sorry, no thank you. I appreciate you thinking of me, but I can't hurt my voice. This is my livelihood. So I play 3 shows a week, and I just lost my train of thought again. I haven't been burnt out, and I think it's because I've used the no thank you, and my life is not down there. I have my friends and my family that I lean on, and it's not like we go down there and party every weekend, because living that alcohol-infused, party-infused life is not, you can't keep with that forever. Now, don't get me wrong. I love to honky tonk. I go swing dancing and Western two-stepping every Tuesday and Saturday. Like,
Oh, wow.
super fun. Love it. But I give myself like the doses of downtown and Broadway that I get are when I'm working, when I'm playing a show. I go down there, I play my show, I hang out for an hour or two after and meet people or just hang out with the band, and then I go home and live my life. Like, I love Broadway, don't get me wrong, but you can get stuck there for forever, and that's not the goal. It has been so wonderful to me. I've met so many amazing people, and I know that if I end up there till the end of forever, I will be happy because I am happy down there. Of course, I have very big dreams aside from Broadway.
Sure.
But
it allows you to make a living as a musician, which
Exactly.
is crazy that that's even an option.
I know. I never even considered that when I came to town. When I came to town, everyone had told me about Broadway and singing down there, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to focus on songwriting. And then first week in town, someone sent me a Facebook of someone looking for a singer, and I was like, well, might as well. I could sing one show a week, make a little extra change so that I don't have to count pennies as much. And then it ended up being meeting new fans and friends, lifelong friends I've met down there. Some of the most wonderful people that I'm having people come visit that I met 5 years ago that we just hang out with. And then I go to their hometowns and play a show. So it's all it's like a flow, you know? It's a way to build, but it's not the only way I want to build.
What bars do you usually play at?
I play at Alan Jackson's bar, where we're only allowed to play 90s country.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. I do get away with a little Miranda Lambert sometimes, and like Jason Aldean if someone asks for like Amarillo Sky farm song. And then I play at the Stage on Broadway.
Okay, yeah.
So
Is there another stage?
no,
Oh, you just said the Stage on Broadway.
it's called the Stage on Broadway.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I always just called it the Stage.
The Stage. Yeah.
Okay, I
The
have a
Stage
weird.
was my favorite bar for like a while.
I love that bar. That's
yeah,
the
it
first
was
bar.
my favorite
Dancing.
one in Nashville.
That's the first bar I ever played in.
Okay, I have a stage question
Down
about
here.
the stage.
Yes.
Do you know? Because I've wondered this. Is it a chain? Do they have other locations?
No.
Because I remember when I was visiting San Diego, a place opened called The Stage, and the logo was practically identical.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
And I was,
Wesley?
I've never confirmed if they were related or not. And I was like, this is so weird because I was living here. You know, you see that sign, you know?
Yeah.
And I went there and I was like, I swear that's the same sign.
I don't think they have a chain. I know they have sister bars that are owned and managed by the same company.
Yeah, maybe it's something.
But it's not like Tootsie's, where there's a Tootsie's in Panama City Beach or whatever.
Yeah.
Or there's a Losers in Vegas. I played in Vegas
Really?
this year
Really?
because of Losers.
Oh, that's cool.
Really?
I didn't know that.
It was cool. I actually hated Vegas, though.
Was that the only time you've been?
Yeah. And I went with this band. I was the add-on to the band. It wasn't my band. So how these shifts work, if you're splitting a shift, it's like a guy sings a song, then I sing a song. Guy sings a song, then I sing a song. And then it's better on your vocals. So actually 2 of my 3 shows every week downtown, I split with a guy because it's healthier. But in Vegas, I did that, went down with this random band. I knew half of the guys. And then all it was in Vegas was go to the pool, drink, gamble. And I was like not trying to lose all my money that I made. And I can't
Have you
hold a
tried
lot
winning?
of alcohol. You know, if you ain't first, you're last. Shake and bake. But I hated Vegas. So I rented a red Corvette and took myself to the damn desert. Looking
yeah.
back,
Which isn't that far.
speaking of murder, going to the desert alone as a chick was not my smartest move because I just was me in the bright red Corvette, like very noticeable.
A lot of people got murdered in that desert.
Yeah. So glad I made it out alive. But anyways,
Yeah, I have driven a red convertible around the deserts of Las Vegas, and it was a great time.
isn't it amazing? Did you go
Loved it.
alone or with someone?
No, I was with somebody.
Yeah.
I was with my mom in the red convertible because she has a red
that's so
convertible.
sweet.
Yeah,
Your mom
drove
had a
all
red
around that area.
convertible?
Yeah,
When was that?
yeah. She bought a Mustang. It's like an older Mustang.
Dang.
she has right now?
Yeah,
Oh, neat.
Wow.
yeah. So yeah, so
Is she
we
in
drove
California?
around. No. She lives in Idaho actually.
Oh,
yeah.
Idaho.
I point at you like because you went this one
Yeah.
time.
After I
You know Idaho.
After I went to Idaho, I kept for like a month. I kept saying Idaho, Idaho. I kept saying that.
We all
That.
Idaho.
We all Dahos. But
I'm gonna
anyways,
name the episode that now. We all Idaho.
you have so many different things to choose from this one.
Yeah.
It will probably end up being one of the ones he says. Almost
I love
always
them.
does.
It is, and I feel bad about that because I'm like, man, I'm selfish in that way. I'm like, it's always something I think of. That's not fair. If you guys think of a great title, let me know. But
Sound
I'm
good.
pretty sure it's the SJ lost her golden ticket.
Yeah, that is amazing. I love that.
Yeah, which is a bummer. So do you still, this was several years ago now, but
Yeah.
do you still like look for it from time to time?
Yes.
Because
I will come across the Seahawks book
and it just makes
and
you want to
flip through and be like, where the hell is this golden ticket? That's where I left it.
yeah.
Because I knew it was in such a random place that I'd see this random book that had nothing to do with me and then look for the golden ticket,
Right.
but don't know where it
I
went.
feel like this is the kind of thing where, like, if Idol found out about it, they would send you a new golden ticket.
Well, they do
Don't you
listen to
think?
every episode, so
Idol, please help a girl out.
They
No,
don't.
but-
But here's a weird thing. I don't know if how much you've thought about this, but like, so we've had 2 other people on who were on Idol.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a few people on who were on The Voice. I know other people who are on Idol outside of this show, and other people who are on The Voice outside of this show.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know any America's Got Talent people or not. But anyway, like I've kind of met a lot of people who were on singing TV shows over the years.
Oh yeah.
And that never happened until I moved to Nashville. Like
Right.
before, when I first got here, the first person I met who was on a singing TV show, I'm like, oh my God, I'm meeting a minor celebrity.
I know.
And,
Exactly.
Like, and then you kept meeting it, and I'm like, how are there so many people who were on singing shows?
And then you realize it's the norm because I mean they can't repeat people,
Right.
so they just got to keep finding new.
But it's
Constantly.
only the norm, like here.
Yeah, you're very
Yeah.
right.
Oh, I mean, did you do your initial, very, very first audition
In Nashville.
at Belmont?
No, it was at some random hotel in Nashville.
Because when I was working at Belmont, they did Idol auditions
Oh dang!
right next door to my office, and that was just the worst day. Just like a lot, like 150 kids, students. You know, they're all Belmont students mostly. Out the door. Yeah, I was on campus
All
in
the Belmont
Galmar.
University is going to make me a star student.
Yeah, 100%.
It's very easy to be that
Just
student.
blocking the entrance to my office all day. It was the worst. But I just remember being like, I cannot believe that this line is so long.
Yeah.
All day.
Well, the thing, I mean, those shows change your life so quick.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was not aired,
Mm-hmm.
I got like a couple thousand new followers on Instagram, and they didn't even air
Really?
me.
Even
I-
though you weren't on TV, they
No.
still.
Yeah, I still, because I posted about the golden ticket. Oh, the funny thing is when I did post about the ticket, I forgot to take a picture of me without the ticket in front of an American Idol sign. So my roommate is a graphic designer. Shout out Willow Johnson. She's amazing. And she took the ticket out of the photo and then posted one picture, and it was me sort of standing with my hand like this. Can you see this camera? And just nothing that I'm holding on to. Who stands like this in a picture? And then all of a sudden, boom, same picture. There's the golden ticket. What were you talking about before this?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
Yeah, so what, just singing shows and how many people
Yeah.
do them in Nashville, like like the because I feel like everybody moves here afterwards.
Yeah.
Some people are from here, but a lot of people move here afterwards
It's-
to like pursue
Wait,
a music career.
Some people are from here.
no,
Never heard of
no
such
one's
things.
from here, but
There
I
are
mean,
a few.
like
but yeah.
like SJ was living here
And then I went to Idol.
and then went to
Yeah.
Idol, even though she's not from here because no one's from here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
But I think it's the great thing for Idol for me was getting like, oh, this little recognition for Idol outside of Nashville. Because in Nashville, it's become more of a like, oh, you did Idol. Like everybody does it.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of it, it's such a big deal. My hometown like wrapped their arms around me and were like my biggest
They give you a
champions.
key to the city.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They were watching Idol. They watched like multiple episodes at a local brewery where I didn't even, my face wasn't even on the episodes, and they still kept showing up. Like, because it's such a
Wow.
big deal to people in those small towns. But
How
Nashville
small of a
was,
town are we talking?
I don't know, like I grew up in a little college town, so I claim Lexington, Virginia, but I'm actually from Rockbridge, Baths, Virginia. Lexington is like 30,000 people, but Rockbridge, Baths is like 1,000 people.
Okay, so
Rockbridge,
we're
Baths is like a fire department and a
sure,
Sonic.
mailbox place,
sure, but even if you
and
count
then the McDonald farm.
Lexington, so that's 30,000.
Yeah, I
that's
think
still
so.
tiny. Like,
Yeah.
that's still so small.
There were 2 colleges, WNL University and VMI, like Virginia Military Institute in Washington and Lee. But small town, and it's still, even though post Idol, when I realized that like it's sort of like a rite of passage now for someone in the music industry to try out for those shows. But it still means so much to the people in your little hometown who have been watching you forever and then waiting for you to get your big break, and it seems like your big break.
Mm-hmm.
And then you fly home after Hollywood week and you just sit there and you're like, wow, there goes the big break.
yeah. One of the sucky
It
things
happens.
about Nashville is that you, like, so many things of like people I've met here and things I've done and all that kind of stuff, like years ago before I moved here, were the kinds of things that I said, like, that's why I want to move there, because those things are there and I'll go do them and that'll be awesome if I could ever do that.
Yeah.
But then when you're actually here, like, because everybody's around these things, it's like you just said, you were like, oh, you did Idol. Okay, cool. Like,
Yeah.
like that's just so many people have done it because of the high concentration of people in the industry.
Oh, absolutely.
That it's just like, oh, cool, you did Idol. Oh, awesome. And like, no one gives a fuck
Yeah.
about this thing you did that was so important to you. And that when you started out, you were like, if I could just even if I could just be audition,
For me,
that would
it
be
was
incredible.
if I could just turn 16, then I could do American Idol. So 15-year-old SJ is probably pissed at me right now. Oh,
I've been spilling on myself today.
That's why I do
It's
it every
fine.
episode. It's fine.
yeah, it's so weird how with anything in life you can get so desensitized to it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's sort of like when I've heard about this thing where you see a bunch of pictures of the Grand Canyon, then you finally get to the Grand Canyon and it doesn't seem
I've never been to
as
the Grand Canyon.
big of a deal as it is. I've never been either.
But I've always kind of felt like it's not as big of a deal as it is.
I was talking to someone last week and they said, no, dude, it's a big deal. But I still haven't been, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how the American Idol thing, it compares to it because it's like you see everybody doing it. And even though it's such a big thing, you've seen it happen so many times already that it's less of a wow. The wow factor is gone.
Yeah.
Right.
But in the moment, I absolutely felt wow factor. We had catering where you could get any kind of meat you wanted cooked right in front of you. I was bigger than my britches that day. Like,
Yeah.
it was wonderful.
You should be.
It should be.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing I don't like about like industry people here is that people are like just very act jaded or just kind of like look down on things. I think there's a whole thing that like people do, and it's not just in Nashville. It's all around.
In
There's
any
a thing
industry.
people
Yeah,
do
I'm
where
saying
they
it's not just music either.
well, I can't speak for other ones, but I could say
Yeah.
that like with music stuff, people act like they don't care, that it's not cool, or that it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Even though sometimes internally they do care and they think it does matter and they think like,
Yeah.
but it's like this whole weird insecurity thing people have where they have to like downplay some cool thing that you got to be involved with. It's just like, oh, that's nothing. Oh, yeah, that's run of the mill because of, I don't know, just how people are with insecurity.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's like really hard to just celebrate another person and be like, that's so cool that you got to do that.
yeah.
That's great. And just because it's great that you got to do that doesn't mean anything about what I'm doing with my life is somehow not good.
Yeah. Just
It's
like
very hard for people to celebrate others.
how Idol didn't work out for me, it would be so easy for me to look at any other of my friends that have done Idol and say, oh, it's just Idol, it ain't nothing. But then I have a couple friends who have gone through like to the top 3 or 4 and seen it change their lives. And it's
Right.
like this I'm not going to say terrible thing, but just this slightly sad thing for me turned into something so beautiful for someone else and helped just skyrocket their career. And like, how could you be mad about that? But it would be so easy to be jaded about it and just be like, oh, the only reason that they're getting that show is because they were on American Idol. But yeah, but
Sure.
they earned their spot there. They sang their ass off on the show.
Right. That is work. That's
it's
a
work.
step in the process.
They put you through like 12, 15-hour days. There was even a mental health little test we had to do with 600 questions on it.
Wait.
Holy crap.
I feel like afterwards your mental health is going to be all sorts of messed
That's
up
exactly what I
after
was
600
gonna say.
questions.
It was terrible. I remember sitting in a hotel lobby, so excited that I'd just gotten through American Idol, gotten the golden ticket, and then 600 questions that I had
That's
to air.
insane.
Yeah,
How long does that take?
I can't even remember. It just went.
Days. You're
Yeah.
still filling it out.
Exactly. But there's work behind it. Even though
Yeah.
something didn't work out for me, there's so much work, and the people that get that far absolutely deserve it.
Yeah. But
You know, I think this is like an ugly side of Nashville, and it's probably just an ugly side of humanity in general. But like, I feel like it doesn't matter how successful you are. People in town love to gossip, and like, there are very few people who are safe. There are very few entertainers that you can think of that everybody's like, oh my God, they're just incredible no matter what. That you've never heard a bad thing about.
Yeah.
well, not
like-
anymore because things are different now.
Yeah. Well,
Because
you're
the internet,
you're
right?
encouraged to put everything out there.
And ever since the internet, like as it has become more and more prevalent in everybody, the internet, the World Wide Web, as it were.
The information superhighway.
That's right. The
Interwebs?
yeah, like we have seen everything now.
Yeah.
Like if there is something in the world, you have access to it. And so nothing is special anymore.
I know.
And nothing
That's
is surprising. And when something actually is, you're just like, oh my God, it's like some new shocking thing. And then you tell everybody about it. And that's why things go viral, right? But but it has to be the best thing. It has to be the newest, most shocking, most funny. And that is only going up. It's not like it's going to come back down and we're going to be cool with some boring stuff again.
No.
Like, we're super desensitized to everything you could imagine. Violence, nudity, drugs, literally anything.
And
in
it's so
every
sad.
industry.
I strive every day to live a life where I find joy in the little things. Because I feel like you lose so much of your own joy when you become desensitized. I mean, of course, there's a million things I'm obviously desensitized to. But, like, the joy, I want to find the joy in finding a dandelion growing between a piece of concrete or something. Like, little things like that. You know,
What do you do to try to find the joy in things?
I'm definitely a cup half fuller. I don't even know how I find. I just do.
It's like living the moment
Yeah.
kind of deal.
YOLO. You know, I don't even know. I had this sign in my car that says, I think I'll just be happy today. And I choose to be the happiest version of myself per day. But of course, I always have sad days, and I
Sure.
make sure to give myself moments to be a sad person, because that would be terrible for my mental health if I just didn't.
Just put on the smile 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you go crazy,
I
I'm
love
pretty sure.
life. No, be like, no, I actually hated last month. But yeah, I think, I don't know, I've just been very lucky to be able to find a lot of happiness in all little things. I thrive off of the little moments. I call myself a collector of little moments. I like them. And I love little things. Like,
What was like the last cool little moment you remember?
Well, they're only little ones. They're kind of hard to remember.
a little moment like
She's actually a collector, Jury.
Yeah, I'm a collector. I have a lot of them. My last favorite little moment was I was on a writer's retreat this past weekend with a bunch of my closest friends, and we were all on this back porch drunk, singing the words to this stupid song. I don't even remember the words, but drunk us was like, this is the best thing since sliced bread, dude. And we were just screaming it at the top of our lungs, 2 a.m., harmonizing. That's a little moment, you know? Who knows if we'll finish the song? Who knows if anything will happen with the song? But it's like a little core memory. So maybe it's more, I'm a collector of little moments and core memories. Just stuff like that.
Okay, can I ask, because we have other people who've had on the show also have used the phrase core memories.
Yeah.
Did that just come from that movie? Is that where all of us got it from?
What movie?
What movie?
What? The Inside Out? Not Inside Out,
Oh,
right?
wow.
That's the first time I had heard that phrase. And I
Maybe.
feel like ever since then I've heard that constantly brought up. You know, the Feelings movie?
Yeah, I
That was all the
remember that
characters
movie.
that were the
I
feelings.
really
That was like the main
liked that
plot of the
movie.
show. I thought it was a pretty mediocre movie at best.
I liked it a lot.
It does nothing compared to Cars. Best movie, animated movie ever.
Okay, well, that's a ridiculous statement. I don't watch cartoons, and that's a ridiculous statement.
Wow. No. Why don't you just ka-chow out of here, bro?
Have you even seen Toy Story? I mean,
Okay.
or
yeah.
Aladdin, the original one.
Jerry, you're the only person on the planet I've ever met. Sorry, besides your cousin, Travis.
Maybe it's a family thing.
Oh gosh, it runs in the blood.
The only person I've ever met who like will be in a conversation, somebody just says their opinion.
You mean you're like,
opinion on
absolutely
art.
not.
You just have this really fucking hard.
It makes it fun. It makes it fun.
This is how I be.
Ridiculous.
He's like, feel
Like-
free to disagree with me, but I'm right.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. Here's the thing. You can try to convince me Cars is the best movie, and you might win. Probably not. But 'cause I've seen Cars a number of times.
I love it.
It's a good movie.
Probably not in his head. He loves to argue for
do.
fun and will actually respect you more if you disagree with him hard enough.
I love that.
But he won't concede defeat at almost any cost.
I
fought this
will
battle.
concede defeat.
Do you remember
if
that time we argued
changed
about...
my mind.
Did you... Yeah, but your mind that's the operative word. If you change your mind. The last time I gave up when we talked about like frame rates, and I knew I was right, and I eventually
No,
proved I was
you
right.
were not
and
right.
you were unwilling to.
This is
You
amazing.
were not right.
It was a
because my
scientific
whole
argument.
My whole point was this. Movies are in 24 frames per second, which is delightful. But YouTube video standard is 60 frames per second.
First off, it's
That's
not
more.
standard.
30 and 60 are the two standards for YouTube.
You just said 60 is a standard.
Sorry, 30 and 60 because not everything can be 30.
To fit.
But nonetheless, my argument was always we should film the podcast in 60 frames per second.
What are we doing right now?
30.
30.
Because we're not monsters.
Something about this conversation makes me feel like I'm in the middle of the Step Brothers movie.
You are. Prestige worldwide.
Boats and hoes.
No, but you did recently get me to change my mind.
Ooh, I did?
Yeah,
About
you don't
what?
even remember. Well, it was about a political thing, so I don't know if we want to go into it.
Let's do it. Tell me.
It was, are you sure? Because it's a real
I don't
touchy
know.
subject.
If you don't want, never
No,
mind.
I mean,
then.
I'm down. I don't care. I'll talk about anything.
I don't know.
No,
I'm
it
very
was,
intrigued.
it was about Roe v. Wade being overturned.
Oh, I changed your mind about that?
You did.
Did we even talk about that?
We did.
Okay, what happened?
What happened was my initial stance was that it was 100% a bad thing.
That it got overturned.
That it got overturned.
Okay.
Since then, after we had talked, I had said, I still think it's a bad thing, but I think that positive things can come from it, given that it is a law that was made decades and decades and decades ago, and doesn't really match up with how modern laws work. And it applies to a lot of things that's not even what it's about.
Like a lot of laws do.
Yeah, like a lot of laws.
Absolutely.
And so there is something to be said for overturning it and creating something new that fits better with our modern day. That being said, overall, I'm not a fan. But, after we had talked, and I forget what you had said. You said something, and I was like, you know what? That's a good point. There could be benefits that come from this. And I changed my mind a little bit. I mean,
You got him to change.
Well,
it's not like you were sitting there saying it was a great thing or anything. It's not like that wasn't your argument.
I don't remember having this conversation.
Oh, I do.
And maybe it was a different person that wasn't me.
No, it was you. It was. I remember where we were sitting. I was
Well,
in the
I'm
green
just-
chair. You were on the couch. My wife was between us.
I'm just proud I changed
Wow.
your mind on something.
Your wife is a saint. Between you two,
Yeah, it's rough for
I'm
her.
on the other side of the road, and I'm barely making it through.
Yeah, it can get a little rough.
You mind pressing that button real quick?
But anyway, the point is, Cars is not the best animated movie ever made. That's really the point.
I am obsessed with Cars, and I don't even know why.
It's a good movie.
The soundtrack, the opening.
Life
okay,
is a highway.
you cannot argue with me about the opening scene in Cars. It's like Sheryl Crow going da na 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 da na 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 na. You know that song?
Sure.
Real Gone?
Yeah.
And it's Lightning McQueen doing the
Ka-chow.
blackout. Yeah, I am speed. Float like
Sure,
a
sure,
Cadillac,
sure,
swing
sure.
like a beam, blah, blah, blah.
But have you seen the opening of Up?
I don't remember.
Because that's like one of the most like heartfelt,
Okay.
hits
Wait,
you
is
hard
that,
openings.
oh, that's the one where like he goes through the life of his wife.
Right.
Oh, that song. The song is called Married Life.
Oh, really?
Oh,
It's
okay.
a beautiful intro.
I'm just saying. Like,
It's just different kinds of
It's a very different kind
Sure,
of
one's more like energy.
apples to oranges, bro.
Why can't fruit be compared?
You know what I remember about Up?
Because they're different.
I remember that opening scene.
Yeah, and the rest of the movie was
every
trash.
second, and then I remember, I'm Doug. I love you.
I always thought that was not funny.
I loved
Everybody else loved it. I never got
I
it.
thought it was hilarious.
And I-
What was Doug the dog?
Yeah. And I love dogs.
I liked Kevin,
Squirrel. Kevin.
Dude.
Which one was Kevin?
the big animal, like the multicolored big animal. That's like an ostrich but
birdish thing.
colorful.
Oh, yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Up changed the world because Up is what introduced us to squirrel.
Oh man.
How many people do you know who say squirrel or talk about their squirrel brain and talk about like, I hear that so often.
Yeah.
It is a
I
part
do
of
that.
life now. It's an idiom.
It isn't. Is it? Yeah, it's a cultural idiom.
Damn.
Yeah. Up changed everything. I think that's the new name of this podcast. That's
changed
actually the
everything.
summary of everything here.
Up changed everything.
That's the summary.
Yeah. Just kidding. Okay, I wanted to jump back to your music career. So, we talked a lot about Idol, but like that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
What is like the new SJ? Like that was about you figuring out you needed to find yourself.
Absolutely.
Then presumably you found yourself, and now here you are. And obviously we're all finding ourselves one by
Yeah.
like
Constantly.
you'll keep finding yourself. But like, what has the journey been like since then? What have you discovered about yourself? Who are you now? What are you trying to put
Yeah.
out into the world? Like, what's your vibe?
My vibe is definitely, well, if we're doing like overarching vibe.
Sorry. I hate to interrupt you, but
What did I do?
I feel like how I just said that sounded like such a white girl way of saying that.
Well,
and we've been drinking White Claws all night, and I think I've been converted.
We are
is what I'm
having
saying.
Claws
white
with
girl
the
now.
boys. I feel like
with
the
the
podcast
boys.
should be called Claws with the Boys.
Claws with the boys.
You know, we're
These
just
claws have
vibing.
made me like, what is your vibe?
There's like that one Cole Swindell song that's like, pretty girl slipping on a White Claw. Pretty boy slipping on a White Claw. Okay, vibe-wise, I like to call my music like sort of blue jean country. And it's a
Okay.
mixture of, I mentioned like Dixie Chick, Shania Twain, a little bit of like Alan Jackson, George Strait stuff. Life for me has been after the most, say, glamorous thing that has happened for me career-wise since American Idol. I can't think of a single like big glamorous thing that's happened. I just feel like I've been slowly chipping away, building my pyramid of a career.
Whoa. Are you trying to get us some kind of pyramid scheme?
Yes.
Is this an
Yes.
MLM?
Cutco.
He
sold Cutco.
knives.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I
Yeah.
love their knives though. I love their knives. But someone said to me once, oh wait, I have had a really wonderful thing. I totally forgot. So American Idol was in like late 2018, spring of 2019. By 2021, I wrote at a publishing company for 8 months as a intern writer. So it's basically like I
cool.
had a publishing deal, but they didn't pay me. And bummer.
You had a publishing deal, but you got fucked.
Yeah. And I drove to Music Row every day. I had a key and code to this place, and I
That's
just
cool.
wrote. It was amazing. So that was wonderful. That's
Also,
the only.
I saw on Instagram that you played on a 4th of July float.
Yes, I did that. That was cool. See, all these crazy things happen, and I just immediately
But
forget
you're in
about
Nashville,
them.
and then people are just like, oh, cool, you did the float thing.
Yeah, I was.
Everybody does a float thing.
I went to like St. Louis for my co-producer's fiance's best friend's dad. Yeah. Co-producer's fiance's best friend dad was the grand marshal of the 4th of July parade in St. Louis. And they put me on a 20-foot long float that said, I believe in Nashville.
Oh, cool.
My band and I drove down. I stood at the top of it and the band was below. I got to sing a song called Hot Damn on like live television. I got to say damn on TV.
Dope.
And then we went down there. Like that, those are really cool moments. But I haven't had, say, big shiny and light moments where it's like, oh, you ended up on a tour opening for Luke Bryan because of
Sure.
American Idol. Nothing like that. But you know, the way I see it, it's all in the plan, and I'm sort of grassrooting it right now. My goal is to get on the road and meet people, make friends and fans. And that's what I feel like I'm doing, even though it's in small increments because I'm not getting on the road every weekend. It's about once a month right now. But still, I feel like we're making progress, and I'm just slowly building a loyal group of people that will listen to my music. I know will be there for me, and as long as I'm there for them and give them music back. You know, I feel like I'm instead of making fans, I feel like I'm making friends. And so it's not super glamorous. You know, of course, the dream is to like be on a tour bus and be like signed to a record label and do the stadium thing. And
Sure.
I'm not there yet, but I'm, you know, getting there in my own way and
Yeah.
figuring out what works for me. I've had to do a lot of realization this year that it's constantly there's stuff happening so quick for people around me, and nothing has happened quick for me. And so it's very easy to get down on yourself and be like, shoot, why did I, you know, they were looking for a person on this tour. I know I can give a high energy, super good show. I know my songs are good enough. I know it all comes from the heart. Why is it not working? It's so easy to feel like that and feel like the lack of glamour per se means lack of progress. But I know that I'm on the right path, and the vibe is just hard work. Care about your fans. To hell what with anybody else thinks. As long as your heart is in it and the people are responding to the music, that's all I care about. So, you know, so what? American Idol didn't work out. That's okay. So what? I didn't get a publishing deal after that stint of writing at a publishing deal. I still got the experience. I still improved as a writer, made new friends, new connections.
All right, just move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And it's only got to work once.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah. That's my best way of seeing it. it is so easy to feel like I'm honestly being a little left behind. But what kind of mindset is that?
Right.
To be like,
I mean, this is
oh,
going to sound
everybody's-
old, but like you're 23.
Exactly.
You know, you're super young. Like
and they say that there's this old time thing where it's like there's a age limit for women in country music. I say screw that.
Yeah.
Who gives
really, I've never heard
who
that.
gives a crap? Well, because it's like they want the young,
Sure.
pretty girls all dolled up, and I'm not going to look like this forever.
Well, with modern science and technology,
With a lot of Botox, I could. But I've just decided to say to hell with that, and I want to focus on making a good life out of music, and if that is in a smaller, more of a like Lori McKenna way, because Lori McKenna is not she's not on the #1 chart. She's not on Billboard and stuff, but she's writing songs that she loves, and she goes ahead and plays them. And she writes songs for other people too. I like to do that a little. That's, I'll be happy as long as my life has to do with music. That's a really roundabout way of saying it. But I do struggle a lot with the whole, man, people are blowing up on TikTok and I can't get mine to work. Like, it's very easy to feel like nothing is working. But then I have to take myself back and be like, shoot, I just met a shit ton of people in Colorado like 2 months ago who are wonderful, who want me to come back next year. That's like, I can go to a state thousands of miles away. People will
That's
come.
awesome.
Like,
Yeah.
even though it's not everyone in Nashville is talking about it, the things that I'm doing still matter. And that's what I've been really trying to wrap my head around. And stay on that path. I got super deep with that one.
As you should.
It was good.
That's what we're here for.
End of the day, if you can just create things you care about and enjoy what you're doing and somehow get by and
Exactly.
create the life that you want to create, then that's success. That's all there really
Exactly.
That's all there really is. You can't kind of control the bigger things. But I mean, I'm older than you, and I've been watching like my whole career that same thing, like feeling like certain people were doing well or whatever. I felt the comparison or whatever else.
Absolutely.
And you just have to get to the point where like kind of what you said, just where you're just like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, that's great for them. And I think celebrating other people is a great way to do that, and just being like, it's really cool that you're doing great. That's amazing.
Exactly.
And I love one of my favorite quotes that's really helped me. It's from Mark Hoppus from Blink-182. He said, "Other people's successes are not my failures,
Exactly.
and
I've
other
seen that
people's
quote
failures are
a
not
lot.
my successes."
Yes.
And to be fair, I don't know if he thought, maybe he was just quoting somebody else, but
Honestly, I feel like we all should put that on a mirror and read it every day.
yes.
Because no matter how grounded you think you are, you're still, jealousy creeps up on you. The comparison creeps up.
Yes.
It will always be there. And I need to write that down because I've seen a bunch of people, sharing that. And the other people's success isn't your failure thing really hits a lot for me, for women in country, because for so long it was like hey, we only have this many slots for women in country, which then makes it seem like it's a more competitive thing for women in country because there's not enough
It's
slots.
a little different now.
Yeah, it's finally opening up, which is amazing. But there for a while, it felt like little competition-y. And I'm obviously not up there in the competitions with like the big Miranda Lambert, Carrie Underwood kind of stuff. But even in the small independent artist sense, it sort of felt little competitive, and I never wanted it to be like that. Good music is good music. No matter who it's from, there's always space for a good song. I mean, and if there's 20 good songs from 20 good female artists, amazing. I love that. It doesn't need to be only one of you can
Yeah, not at all.
have.
Now we are coming up pretty close here to our time, but before we get there,
And before you do that, I just want to say this. Wesley has a talkback mic, but he has not used it even one time
what the
tonight.
hell, Wesley?
Wesley, do you have anything to add or any questions you want to ask SJ or anything here tonight?
He didn't even go on the mic. He just shook his head. No.
Wow.
We gave you a
thanks.
damn microphone. Say something. Be interesting.
Be interesting. On command.
Should I be offended that he doesn't have a question?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, he just thinks that you've just communicated so well
You know,
that
I've
there's
just-
nothing else he had to even ask.
Laid it out on the table.
He's like, I get it. I get it.
But no, we do have a question that we ask every guest.
Okay.
We do. And I just want to say this.
Oh gosh.
The other question we used to ask every guest was, how did you get into music?
Right, we've
And
stopped
today
that
we
kind
didn't
of.
do that.
Yeah, this is like only the
Yeah.
second
First
time.
time.
First time we've
ever.
not just
First time
Yeah,
ever.
usually it's like the first thing we say, how'd you get into music? And,
And we
didn't.
had a meeting last week, and
We did.
and we said, "quote That question is stupid. Let's stop it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we didn't intentionally stop it today. We just
Yeah, we
did.
just
It just
started
never
hanging
happened.
out.
And
yeah.
you know what? It was so much better.
It was a little smoother of a start.
Yeah.
Normally, I think we started doing that just because I was like, "Whoa, what do we say in the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how do we start this thing? Like,
Hey,
ask
welcome
them a
to
question."
the podcast. Talk now, artist.
Yeah, exactly. Right, yeah, let's say
And,
something.
and since we didn't, start with how'd you get into music, instead we talked about how the mountains protect you.
Yes. And in and out and cars and I feel like things
so many
naturally
things.
naturally
Yeah.
come better that way.
No, but we do have a question. So we have a question we ask every guest.
Okay.
Um,
Wow, I feel so special right now.
I mean, just you've never asked us before in our life. God, what button is it, Ryan? Did the buttons move?
The buttons are doing crazy things. I'm hitting 1 and it's triggering 3.
Witchcraft.
But anyways,
Yeah.
if you had to choose,
And you do.
and
thank
you do. Now, the important thing
gosh.
about this question, hold on, we can't just jump into it. The important thing about the question
Sorry.
is that the answer doesn't come from here.
And for the audio
Listen
only
to
listeners,
your
he's
heart.
pointing to his head.
It must come.
Listen to your heart when he's calling for you. Okay, from the heart. Got
That got
it.
very Irish sounding. And
Yeah, it is.
Calling. Oh yeah, I love
love
the Celtic women. Let's just put that out there for everyone. I love the Celtic women. Okay, go on.
So if you had to choose,
And you do.
Right.
and you do.
Okay.
But now what that actually means, the answer coming from here, not from here. That means we need a quick answer.
You are putting so much
Yeah.
suspense on
Quick.
this.
I don't want you to think
No,
about it.
no. Please don't feel suspenseful.
No, we just want your real, honest answer.
Don't feel tense about this, okay? This is going to just be really straightforward. It's just a one question
One
to
simple
define
question.
everything, okay? It's very simple.
I am so anxious right now.
Yeah, so we need an answer quick. I don't want you to think about it. I just
Okay.
want your answer.
Okay.
If you had to choose.
And you do.
And you do. What would you say is your favorite kind of turtle?
A miniature turtle.
Whoa.
Not even a turtle. You just made that up. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
I didn't know there were.
Wesley, can you fact check that?
Dude, I thought you were going to ask me
Hold
some life changing question.
This is about to be a really incredible answer or the worst answer.
I love miniature things. Why can't there be a miniature turtle?
It's all up
Like
to
a-
Wesley.
Like a baby turtle. Hey, what's the name of the turtle from Nemo?
Crush. Crush? Is it Crush? Now, is that actually a mini? Is that like
Ooh,
a,
that
Those-
one is pretty.
but are they baby
miniature.
turtles or are they miniature turtles? Those are
What-
different things.
look at not the pictures. Look at like the normal search results.
I think
We need to know: is there a name? Is there a turtle like Turtlecus miniatures?
Oh my God. You know, I'm not a turtleologist. Oh. I was really going for the
I am not seeing a miniature turtle.
Oh, none called mini. But okay, you like smaller turtles.
Wait,
All right,
do
so-
y'all have
That
a
might
specific,
be our first non-answer.
do y'all know
unreal
specific
answer.
turtles?
I mean, I definitely do now after asking like 70 people this question or however many people we've talked
Tortoise.
to. Tortoises are not turtles, though we have gotten that answer before.
Oops.
Yeah.
Now,
Mini
most
turtle.
commonly
I
we
lied.
get
It's
box
real. It's a
turtle
thing.
and sea
It's a
turtle
thing.
and snapping.
Mini
snapping.
turtles are species that stay small, generally reaching an adult shell length of no more than 6 inches.
Okay, small turtles.
Small turtles are not only cute and fun to watch, but they are usually easier to house and care for than larger species.
Well, that's nice.
Easier to step on, too.
True.
So wait, so there are miniature turtles?
Just like
Leslie says yes.
Just like there's miniature cats, why can't there be a miniature turtle?
Sure, but with most animals, the mini versions are just like inbred over many generations.
right.
It's like they're like that's why they look all messed up and they're like a little. Like, have you ever seen like the little like teacup chihuahuas, and you're like, are you even an animal? Like they're like, oh, I don't know, they're all messed up.
They're like West Virginia turtles.
Yeah.
Damn!
Like, damn, mountain mama.
Oh my gosh!
Wait, do you mean Western Virginia? Or
No,
West
no.
Virginia?
When you talk about that,
He's talking about West Virginia.
Yeah.
It's got a reputation.
Oh my gosh, I have a friend that put out a song a couple weeks ago that I feel like goes with this. It's called "If You Love Her," and the hook is, "It ain't incest if you love her."
Oh my god!
Oh my.
It still is.
It's just for fun,
Yeah.
just for fun. But
Only in Nashville do people be writing for fun songs about incest.
yeah, we do be writing songs like that. I'm trying to think if I've done a song not that crazy. I do have a song called "The Milkman" about finding out that your dad isn't your dad and it's actually the milkman. Because the back in the day,
Right. Yeah.
way before I was even conceived, the milkman would like sleep with the moms.
Right. That was his job.
Yeah,
The main purpose of his career.
he was delivering more than milk.
My brain just went to like that being like a horror movie, like.
Oh, I
'cause
bet
they
you there's a
turn
horror movie
anything to
called
a
The
horror movie
Milkman.
now. Yeah, The Milkman.
You know how like on
Your daddy's
iMovie,
away at work.
iMovie has those like templates to make a horror movie or stuff. It's like,
does
do you
it?
want it to be action or horror or a love story? You can easily do that.
The Milkman. When your daddy's at work, the Milkman comes to play.
The milk.
I feel like you very tentatively pressed that. Like, is this the right button?
I was worried it wasn't the right one.
I know. Everyone almost always accidentally hits a specific button, and it hasn't gotten accidentally hit, and it makes me a little sad. But
You want to give me some hints? So
It's
I
a
can hit the
naughty
button?
button.
it's just so shocking.
It's not on this page.
It's not? It's not this one? Oh, that's the beep.
No.
What the?
It's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
Is this too much power?
before we get out of here, this camera, that camera, that camera, let the people know. Where are you going to
Let the
be? Where are you
people know.
playing?
Well,
Where can they find
Where
you?
can they find you? What are you on the socials and all the
I
things?
always like to say I'm very stalkable online, just not stalkable in person. So I'm all over the interwebs, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Farmers Only.
Farmers only.
My name is S.J. McDonald. So S for spicy, J for jalapeno, McDonald for ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
Nice. How many times
How many
have
times
you
have
done
you said
that?
that?
That's my thing. That's my thing. Do not make fun of me.
Hundreds of times.
Yes, absolutely.
That was good.
It's just like when people, like earlier today, you were like, jury sent your name, like 12 guys in a courtroom. That's what I always say.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Jerry.
so on Spotify, it's S.J. McDonald.
Yes, just the letters, S and J. And, I was talking about earlier in the show about, releasing music and how I sort of do it old school and just put it out when I want to instead of when the industry says you always have to. But the 2 songs that I played on the show today are coming out in the first 4 months of 2023. Holy cow, 2023.
Weird.
But yeah, I've had those songs in the vault for by the time they're out would have been a year. And so I'm ready to get them out. And I truly feel like in this music that's coming, I really found myself in the sound. Because if you look me up, if you do your obligatory stalk after listening to this podcast, you'll see that I have a pop country-ish song out, a couple rock country songs, and then a bluegrass song, and then a pure country song. And this next project, Rosemary and Break a Cowboy that we played on here are all encompassing of who is S.J. McDonald. Yeah, so that's my self-plug.
So make sure to go check out S.J. McDonald on all the things. keep an eye out for the new music coming out early next year.
And if they're in Nashville, if they're coming, like if you're a tourist in Nashville,
yes.
you can go see her at the stage.
Yes.
Right.
And what nights of the week do you play? Is it specific or is it always changing?
I always say try to go to Alan Jackson's bar on Saturdays from 2 to 6. I have that slot with my band, so if we're not on the road, we're there. So stop by, see if I'm there, because we have a great band, a bunch of guys that I love to play with, and it's a lot of 3-part harmonies, like good for the soul, 90s country music, and I play my own music there, which is really awesome. Alan Jackson's
cool.
bar is super supportive of that. So I usually do like one of my own songs per hour, because, in a perfect world, I'd do opposite, but that's not what people come to Nashville for.
The Broadway thing.
Yeah, the Broadway thing. But yeah, that's where Alan Jackson's bar, Saturdays from 2 to 6 p.m. And if you want to see me in full band action, you can actually live stream it on Facebook. They live stream every show.
Oh, that's
so my grandma watches from home. I have a cousin in California that watches. So 2 to 6 p.m. Central Time every Saturday at AJ's Good Time Bar on Facebook. You can watch me and the band. And those microphones are hot. You will hear everything I say. Good or bad.
And if you're not too much of a creep and bring a limo, there's a chance you'd be friends after.
Exactly. Shout out to my friends that bring limos. Please don't kill me.
But anyways, guys, as always, thanks for coming to hang out. You guys are awesome, and we'll see y'all next time.
She's going on 20 years working 9 to 5 at a corner desk where the sun don't shine. Oh, she clocks out to clock right back in, closing the wash, pick up the kids, does it just to do it all over again. She's got a yearbook photo from '89, got a dimple on her cheek, it's the same as mine. Oh, and when we were wrong, we both turned pink. I steal her laugh after a couple drinks, and I bet one day I'll have stolen everything. 'Cause she's the type that'll speak her mind. You'll always know who she doesn't like. When it's hurting, she won't let on. Roots run deep in a fighter's heart. Give you everything and won't think twice. Gonna put you first every time. Easy to love 'cause she loves too hard. I hope the apple don't fall far. If I talk too much, well, you can blame her. And all my best jokes were her jokes first. Oh, and when I'm finally fully grown, I hope my house is half her home. 'Cause the world might change, but she won't. She's the type that'll speak her mind. You'll always know who she doesn't like. When it's hurting, she won't let on. Roots run deep in a fighter's heart. Give you everything and won't think twice. Gonna put you first every time. Easy to love 'cause she loves too hard. I hope the apple don't fall far. Myself trying to fight it. Thank God it never worked. The best parts of me are what I got from her. She's the type that'll speak her mind. You'll always know who she doesn't like. When it's hurting, she won't let on. Roots run deep in a fighter's heart. Give you everything and won't think twice. Gonna put you first every time. Easy to love 'cause she loves to